I'm asking him, like, okay, look in the mirror. Do you like how you look in the mirror? Yes, you do? Are you sure? I want to make sure. I want to make sure. I'm like, it all comes down to what it does to your body on a molecular level, because your body is made up of cells, which are made up of molecules. That's true, right? Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast. My name is Donovan Gray. I feel like, oh yes, you can find me on Instagram at Donovan Gray, DONIVANGRAY. You can find my girlfriend, the lovely Melissa Burnett, on Instagram at Anita Burn, ANETABURN. We have several different Instagrams. We have Instagrams for our music page, our podcast page, our fitness page, our sports page, our clothing page, and did I say food? And food. There's 6 pages. Listen, there's a lot of pages. We're doing a lot of work over here. Sometimes I forget what the pages are. So if you don't want to forget what the pages are, you can go right down to the description. You can see all the Instagrams that we have. You can go and see the food that we eat and why we eat it. You can see Melissa singing, doing her music career. You can see the podcast page and how we're progressing with that, and all the other things we're up to date with. And if you listen to this podcast on one of the major streaming platforms, you can go onto YouTube and watch our vlogs of our life and how we're building a company. You can see us going on vacation, different trips. Yeah, listen, everybody listening to the podcast for the first time, thank you. The people who have been here from before, just so you know, I am wearing headphones today on the podcast. So if you hear my voice sound real sultry, it's because I can hear myself too. So now I know I have more energy. I can hear how I sound when I talk. So now I can give you guys a better experience because I know how I sound. And I'm like, ooh, this shit's sexy. So we also have free consultations. You can, DM me on Instagram, right? If you have some problem with your confidence, you're trying to get your confidence up, you're having girl problems, you're having family problems, anything like that, you can call me and we can have that conversation. I can give you some pointers on how to handle those situations. Very simple, very easy. Bamboo Project. And what's the other thing? It was the consultations. Oh, yes. So this podcast sometimes can be up to 3 hours long, right? So because of that, we love our audience. We want to make it as easy and streamline the experience as much as possible. So we put the timestamps of this video and the audio in the description so you can go and click to whatever part you want to watch or listen to. I'm going to send you this, Melissa. I'm going to resend you the show notes so that I guess you don't need them now. It's too late for that. Today is August 4th, 2020. It is 2:04 p.m. The reason that I do this is to let me know when I'm starting on time and when I'm starting late. Today I'm starting very late because Melissa wanted to play with the cat and Melissa want to wake up at 12:30. So because Melissa want to wake up at 12:30 and play with the cat, the podcast is late. So anybody that wanted the podcast earlier, you could blame Melissa for that because it's her fault and not mine. So what else? What is going on with this? Producer, what is this? What is this? No, not that. That. yeah, that up there. So another thing. I forgot. Oh, so some people listen to this podcast. There are ads in the beginning of the podcast, or one ad of me doing it, and I want to redo it right now. So I'm going to try and sell the shit out of Anchor.com, and I'm going to use this clip from this segment of this podcast to put for the ad for all the other podcasts. Let me see. Where is Anchor? Oh, yeah. You're going to hear a lot of whistling, right? That's because Hurricane Isaias with an S is outside right now. So it sounds crazy. I don't know why it sounds like that, but, sometimes I think, Jesus, it just sounds crazy. You don't hear. This is how you guys hear the podcast? This is kind of crazy. Why was I not wearing headphones before? I don't understand. This is crazy. I'm going to always wear headphones all the time. Like, I'm only going to wear headphones. And I can hear myself because now I can hear myself listen, a lot of times, right, I will go back and listen to this podcast, and something about my voice, because it's so sultry, right, I fall asleep. And the reason that my voice can be so sultry sometimes is because when I run a game on girls, right, back in the day, not now, I used to have to talk a certain way. I used to have this certain tone when I speak to them, right? It was real straight. It was not too many highs and too many lows. And somehow that's carried over into my normal speaking pattern. So now when I talk and I hear myself talk, I'm so calming and relaxing when I hear myself talk. So I just be like, damn, Donovan, you just
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
First of all,
No, you're not.
First of all, mind your business. I'm talking to my audience right now, okay? So when I'm talking to my audience, that's what happens. I'll fall asleep because I'm like, damn, my voice just sounds so good. It's like a lullaby or something. Like, damn, like, oh my God, he sounds so good. So, but yeah, I'm gonna come back to that another day, another time. I want to do the ad for this. How do I think I do on the laptop.
The water came.
You said what?
The water came.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah. Listen, we've been struggling for a minute, and I feel like I'm gonna explain to y'all how we've been struggling, because we've really been struggling. But I want to do this ad. I want to figure out, because there's a certain line you have to say when you do the ad. So I want to get that line. Melissa, producer, beautiful girlfriend, can you go on anchor.com and sign in and tell me what it says for the ad? How to make an ad? Because like I said, I'm about to sell the shit out of that ad. Watch this. You ever seen that show? What is it? The Wolf of Wall Street? And he was like, here's a pen. Sell me this pen. I'm about to sell the shit out of this pen. Watch this. Why was I not wearing headphones before? I can actually hear how far I turned my head to the left. I'm like, I can't even hear me. I turned my head right back to the right. So now I can hear myself. I'm going to be chatting up a storm on here. I can hear myself talking.
Oh my God. That's precisely what you're doing. Chatting. You chatting up a whole store. My God. You haven't stopped talking. Since you can you breathe? Then you can't hail.
Oh, this is a game changer. I might have to give me some expensive headphones. I might have to give me some like elite level, like top of the line. Hear myself like whisper in my ear. Tell me what you're trying to hear.
I think it's so funny how
What
you
happened?
was doing great and then you posted that last one.
Post the last what? That's not accurate. That's not accurate. That's what you think that is not what it is. Trying to play me on my podcast. You wildin'. This is why guys be single, because black women be hating on them.
Don't be on in the same house.
I can't hear you because I have my headphones on. So, whoa, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I know you don't. What do you have on? Like, what are you doing? What's that say? Okay, yeah, re-record this ad. See what that says. Okay, boom. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, the script. Listen, we getting that bag on here, okay? Right now, from the podcast, we have made $2.95. All right, get into that fucking bag. But one day you're gonna see me on here talking about some. Yeah, I made $100 last week off the podcast. Something light, something easy. Okay, so the mandatory call to action says I have to download the free. I can even hear myself when I talk too fast, and I can slow down and do it again. Don't make that face. I'm gonna talk because it's the podcast. That's what you do on podcast. You talk. All right. Thank you. So on the television, let me get real close to the mic again. On the television, it says mandatory call to action, right? So that means that I have to say download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now watch me sell a shit out of this ad, right? All right, here we go. Can I get a countdown, Melissa?
3, 2, 1.
Lord have. See, this is why guys be dating white women, because white women wouldn't do this to us black men. This is why. I'm lying. Don't date a white woman if you black, because you gonna end up like Get Out or some shit.
Some people say amen.
Yeah, facts. Okay, where was I?
2, 1.
All right, so listen. All right, some people out there, like myself, I want to make money. Now, I know you want to make money too, right? So, there are different ways to make money. You could sell drugs, right? Or you could like be a prostitute, or you could be a stripper. But a lot of people don't want to do those things. I know I don't want to do those things, right? So what I decided to do was make a podcast. Now you're probably like, Donovan, why you want to make a podcast? Now listen, I like to help people. A lot of people like to help other people. So I decided, you know what I'm going to do? Make a podcast so I can talk to people and help other people out. Now, other people are like, all right, Donovan, I feel you. I could do that. But why would I use Anchor? Let me tell you why I use Anchor, right? Before, I used to use a different company, right? Now, the company was cool. It was all right, except they didn't have an app. Now you're like, what do you mean they don't have an app? This is what I mean, they don't have an app. I mean, when you go on your phone, you have to go on the website to check your analytics. You wake up in the morning, you want to see how much money you made, you got to go on Safari, or you got to go on Google Chrome, you got to go sign in, log in to find out how much money you made. Now with Anchor, you have an app. You open the app, it tells you right there, boom, how much money you made, boom, how many listeners you had overnight, just like that. On Anchor, you can't do that with the other apps. They don't, with the other company, they don't have apps, right? So then you're like, oh, that's fire, Donovan, but like, what else do they do? I'm gonna tell you what else they do, right? Ads like this one, you get paid. Now, a lot of people, they think about YouTube. Oh my God, all the ad money you're getting. It don't really work like that, right? I'm gonna explain to you why it don't work like that. So, with other companies, not Anchor.fm, other companies, you have to get 1,000 or more listeners to get paid. Now, who wants to do that? You got to put all this work in. You over here editing videos. You spend all your time making these great content, and all of that for what? To not get paid? Nah, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You know who you could be? You could be the guy using Anchor. You know why? Because Anchor pays you immediately. As soon as you start getting listeners, they are paying you immediately. Is it a lot? Of course not. But they're paying you something. And 0 is a lot less than 1. And you want to be making 1, not 0. So make 1 if you can. Okay? Now, that was for people who want to make a podcast, right? You guys don't know which one to use. You hear everybody talking about making a podcast. Spotify's buying up all this podcast content, right? So what that means is you got to get in the game. You got to make money off of the podcast game. Now, other people probably listening like, all right, Donovan, if I had a podcast, if I wanted to make a podcast, I would probably do that. But what about me, the regular guy or girl who don't want to make a podcast? I'll tell you what you could do, right? So I'm going to talk to the ladies first, right? So listen, ladies. You probably got a boyfriend, right? You probably talk way too much. He probably just be talking, chatting your head off, and you're like, oh my God, you annoying the shit out of me. Why you talk so much, right? You know what you do? You tell him, hey, babe, come here. I have an idea. I think you talk so well. What do you think about having a podcast? He's going to be like, I've been thinking about that. I should get one of those. And you be like, yeah, babe, you should get a podcast. And then you go, well, which one should I get? He go, this is what you're going to do. You're going to tell him this. Well, act like you don't, like you never heard it before. Well, I heard of something called Anchor.fm. And if you download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started, you can start right now, babe. You do that. And he'll be like, well, how you know about that? Well, I just heard it around somewhere. And now he's like, wow, this is why I love you. You really care about me. You want me to make money. You want me to do better. You could be that woman. Suggest to your man to get Anchor, right? Now, that's for the guy if you have a boyfriend or a friend like that, right? Now, some girls, like, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have no friends like to talk a lot. What do I do? Now, if you don't have a boyfriend and you don't have a guy like to talk a lot, I know you got girls who love to talk. The girls love talking. Tell your friend who don't shut up, listen, girl, get a podcast. Everybody get in that bag. You got stripper stories. You got stories about guys ain't doing you right. You got stories about your job and you hate your job. Listen, there's an audience for everybody out there, okay? So you could tell your friend, listen, whatever her name is, you work at Dwayne Reed, but you be having some fire stories. Make a podcast. Get paid today as soon as you start making a podcast. Tell all your friends about it. They get on. They listen to it. You make money. It's easy. You could do it from your phone. You could go out and buy a mic. You can do it from your laptop. Any way you want to do it, you can do that right now. I know that shit sounding great. You probably thinking right now, like, damn, I should get a podcast right now. Other people about it, right? So I know a lot of people out there probably feel like, all right, that was cool, Donovan. That was a good job. I hear you. I fuck with that. But what about the girls that don't have? No, we done with the girls. We done with the girls. We're talking about the guys. The guys like, all right, bro, I hear you, but my girl don't want to do a podcast, right? But you know what you could do? Listen, guys. Listen up, guys. Listen real close for all the guys out there. I want y'all to hear this, right? You could be the leader of your group. Tell your friends, listen, bro, let's get to that bag. We could get a podcast right now. Everybody always talking about it. Everybody's always talking about starting a podcast, but don't know where to go, don't know how to start. It's easy. You just go on Anchor.fm. You download the app. You sign in. It's free to do it, and you get paid. And like I said, you don't have to do it, but you can tell your friend who you know wants to start a podcast, always chatting you up. Yo, bro, we can get rich right now. We could do a podcast. It's easy. Call them out on it. Say, all right, bro, facts. Go download this app. What app is that? The free Anchor app. The Anchor.fm. Tell them that's where it's at. Go sign up. Download the free Anchor app today, or go to Anchor.fm to get started. Boom. Ad. It don't matter. It don't matter. Joe Rogan's podcast intro ads be like 15 minutes long. So we getting it back. And honestly, now I think about it, the longer it is, the more money you probably get paid for it, if I had to guess. So there's that. But I'm sweating because I'm killing the game right now. Listen, headphones all day, every day. I'm about to get some new Dr. Dre. Them shit is trash. I'm going to get some new top of the line headphones. Okay, so that was my new ad, and you guys will hear that now at the beginning of the podcast. I probably won't edit it out because it was amazing, so I'm gonna just probably leave it the way it was. Melissa thinks it was long, but this is why she don't have a podcast and I have a podcast, because I'm getting to that bag. Even though my wonderful girlfriend found Anchor.fm for me, because I was out here, I was struggling out here using apps, not even apps, using companies that don't pay me. You gotta love yourself. I love myself. I want to get paid, so I decided I was gonna use Anchor.fm. But
I just want to tell them the truth that I found it for you, and then say that you found it, and then that would make no sense.
I found you, so if I found you, whatever you come with is what I found. Duh, come on now. So where am I at? Damn, my eye kind of hurts. Is that because I need water? You said the water came in already?
Yeah.
Like, it's in the Luxor one, or in the lobby?
Probably.
You trying to get that, or?
I was thinking that.
I figured I got a headache, and I don't know if it's because of that.
Yeah, listen, me too. Listen.
Yeah, we listen. Oh, yeah, like I said, we're going to tell you, we've been struggling out here, man. When I tell you, like, we about to be broke and homeless, y'all not going to understand. Y'all going to be like, what y'all mean? What y'all mean homeless? How y'all going to be homeless?
Wait, I
I thought you was getting the bag, Donovan, from the podcast. Listen, I am getting the bag from the podcast, but I'm gonna still be homeless doing a podcast. So I'm getting the bag on the streets. Yeah, facts. I will plug it into a Starbucks outlet. Well, I can't even go inside no more. I'm gonna find an outside outlet and use that one. So on today's agenda, it's gonna be mostly about alkaline food, my new diet, or I guess the food that we eat in the house, why we chose to eat it, how it relates to Dr. Sebi, and just a little bit of things around that. That's going to be today's podcast. Can you scroll down, please, beloved? What is this? Oh, this is supposed to be over here like this. Okay, you can go down. Keep scrolling. Oh, yes. I feel like I didn't say this part, but I feel like I did. So, now that we have concluded the beginning intro of the podcast, I did my ad. Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast, where you can see how we turn our life into a living. Now, one thing I feel like I don't express enough on this podcast is the purpose of the podcast and what we're doing. To people who don't know, what we are doing is the step-by-step process of what it looks like to actually become successful and wealthy. That's what we're doing. It's a grind. It's not an overnight thing. And I've always wanted to see what Jeff Bezos, Kevin Hart, Warren Buffett, Jay-Z, I wanted to see what they were doing at my age. All you hear is the stories of Jay-Z shot this person, of Warren Buffett, invested this money into that. It would be amazing if I could actually go back and listen to a podcast of Warren Buffett when he was 22 talking about stock, because it would be so contradictory probably to what he says now. It would be crazy. He probably like, yeah, you gotta buy stocks and sell them immediately. Like, he's not saying that, but it would just be funny to see in hindsight where he was and where he is now. So the reason I have this, so you can actually see, and everybody else can see, what it takes to become successful. There are ups and downs. There are, things that are easy, things that are hard, and so on and so forth. So that's what this podcast is for. So we're taking everything one step at a time, trying to improve our life. Maintain and grow is one of the monikers of this podcast and of the Bamboo Project. So the life update that I have is the housing market is going down. We've been doing some apartment searching, though, because we want to move out of here. Our goal is to move into an apartment that has a basketball court, a full-size basketball court. That means 2 rims. I would like an actual weight room, not this little weight room that they have here, because I don't got time to be. I can't really lift weights the way I want to lift weights here. So there's that. Then there's a bunch of other amenities that we saw that they have. Regular stuff that we get now. We got a bike room, we got like a doorman, things like that. One of them had a sauna, one of them had like a pool room and like a studio to do, I guess, podcasts and videos and stuff like that. And I think it's funny to me because originally when the podcast started, the goal was to do the podcast in the what was that called? The co-working space downstairs. And I don't even think I would want to, even when it reopens, I wouldn't want to do that because I believe the word is autonomy. We have full autonomy to do things in our apartment where we can just do it the way we want to do it. It's just, okay, move the couch there, we get up, we go do whatever we got to do, and it's done. Nobody's walking in and out of the co-working space. Nobody's printing paper while we in there. The variables are a lot smaller and a lot less variables because we have more control over what happens in the house. So I think it's just funny that now we, like, the goal when we got here was, okay, we're going to do the podcast every day or every whatever day, every week down here in this room. And now we're in the apartment doing this. So I just think it's kind of funny how things change. We actually did, I think, actually, we probably did like 4 or 5 podcasts downstairs. I think 2 of them were recorded on video and the other 2 or 3 were just audio. So I'm gonna release those in the future on, the Patreon page, because like I said, that's coming. It's gonna be coming next year, and it's gonna be some heat on that shit. Probably next year. I don't know. Maybe next year after that. Next year, end of the next year, it's gonna be some heat on that. We boiling. We got things cooking on this side. So my bike. Like I said earlier a couple of times, we're about to be homeless and we're struggling out here, and we about to, I don't know what we're gonna do because my bike is not working again. So as you guys heard last week, I got my bike fixed. Now, if anybody tunes into this podcast regularly, before and going forward, this is something that has happened to me over the last couple of years. My bike always, I hate even say, because it's not even true. My bike has problems, and because my bike has problems and it's electric, it can put me out for a long time because I have to buy new parts for it. That's one. In the beginning, I didn't really know how to fix parts of the bike, so that was another issue. So it was like, okay, now I have to learn how to fix the bike before and do that, and that took forever to do. And in that time period, I didn't really have as much money to kind of weather that storm, so I'd have to go out and ride my regular bike in the rain and so on and so forth, which is fucking drastic. Like, it's so crazy to have to ride my bike in the rain, and I have videos of that too, when I was struggling and stuff like that, and how crazy it was to just ride my bike throughout that time period. So last week, I thought everything was all Gucci. I'm like, I bet we about to be working. I was talking on the podcast, like, yeah, talking my shit. About to get working for the next month every day, as much as I can, get as much money as I can. And then I go out, I work one day. I think I made I got paid today too. I think I made $260 something or $270 maybe that day. Which is more than I thought I was going to make. So I was surprised. I'm like, all right, bet we back in action, about to get this money and recoup all the money I lost over the last couple of weeks because my bike was not working before. So I went out for one day. I made that money. Like I said, Duke had came over that week before the podcast. So I think that Sunday, and he had fixed the bike. So then I think I went to work Friday. I went to work Friday or Saturday, and I made the money. I'm go back out the next day. I go play basketball, and then while I'm out there, everything is fine. I ride around, take an order or two. I got another order, nice large order. I go and take it. On the way to taking it, wasn't ready yet. So I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go watch this basketball game in the park, this tournament that was happening. So I'm in the park just sitting there watching the game. I get on my bike to go and ride off. I pull a throttle, shit don't move, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Come to find out, the wires that go from my controller that go to the motor were cut. So those are called phase wires. Those are called hall sensor wires, actually. And they were cut. So the reason that they were cut is because the rotor, which is the thing that people, if you don't know about bikes or cars, you might know with cars, when you have brakes, the brake pads have to grab something to stop the car. What they grab is called the rotor. So I have one of those on my bike. On the back wheel is where the motor is at. So the rotor is spinning, and when it spins, it cut the actual wire. And that's why the wire is separated. What's the word? Not separated. It's severed. And because the wire is severed, the electricity is not able to run from one part to the other, so the bike doesn't move when I pull the throttle. I didn't figure that out though until I got home. So I was in the park for about 2 more hours trying to fix my bike, and it didn't, hour and a half, and it didn't fix. I didn't fix it. I had to walk home. I had to get my bike on the train, take the regular train all the way home. Listen, I've been living pretty good, and I don't like taking a regular train. I'm too bougie for that now, and I don't like being on a regular train. I took it though because, like I said, I'm struggling. I haven't worked for a week. I'm dipping into my account that I said I wouldn't be dipping into with my other monies. This is not good. This is not a good sign. So this is how I look at it, right? You should always have barriers or hurdles, or no, what do you call those things? Fail safes. You should always have fail safes in your life, and I have fail safes, and that's how I can always tell when things are getting bad, depending on which fail safes are actually breaking. It's like, okay, this one is gone. All right, so boom, I'm not working anymore. I'm like, all right, cool, I can do this for a little bit before things happen. All right, boom, I can work for a little bit longer. Now I have money that's getting depleted. I'm like, all right, it's getting, I don't really like where I'm at. Boom, all that money's depleted. Like, okay, now I gotta go into my other account. That money starts getting depleted. I'm like, all right, now if things get too crazy, I would have to go into liquidate my investments. Take that money out and do that. Or I have to borrow money from my sister or somebody to buy new parts for my bike if I don't have the money to pay for it. My credit card. Oh, that's the other thing. My credit card is maxed out. So like I said, there's all these fail safes that I have in place so that I can kind of gauge where I'm at and how well I'm doing. When I start going through the fail safes, that lets me know, okay, something is not good is happening right now. So like I said, for the last maybe the last week or so, I went into my other account 8 times, 9 times. I had to buy more parts for my bike, which can become expensive. I had to buy groceries for the house. We were running low on water. For some reason, we've been drinking a lot of water lately. I feel like we've been drinking more than normal. You don't think that?
No, I was like, yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we've been drinking mad water. And then the water is how much is one case of water?
$30.
So like $30. So it's about $60 a week on water, and we only drink water. But like I said, we spend $60 a week on just water, like just it. So that's $250 a month, pretty much on just water by itself. And I feel like, yeah. So like I said, you can't, and this is why I want to have passive income. You cannot continue to work for your money. If you continue to work for your money, when something bad happens and you don't have money coming in, then you start struggling. If during this time period, if I was making money from my real estate investments, making money from my stock investments, I'm making money from the bamboo food project and the clothing project and the music project and the fitness project and the sport, then I don't have to worry about these things. And those are a lot more fail safes I have in place. And because they're a lot more diverse, it allows for my fail safes to be even more secure. Because if I have to, if let's say at my, people are not paying rent right now. If I had to deal with that, it's like, I bet people not paying rent. I still have my investments. Boom, the stock market goes down. I'm like, fuck, okay, those two things not working. I still have the food. I'm selling food. The people go, oh, maybe they're like, I don't want to buy food because of the corona thing. All right, bet, I got that. But what about fitness? Oh, I can't go to the gym because of fitness. All right, cool. That's fine. What about clothes? You got to buy clothes. Like, yeah, I can buy clothes. All right, we're going to sell all this clothes. We're going to sell mad clothes. While you're in the house, what you listen to? You got music. So we trying to get it to a place where, and that's just some of the stuff. We have other stuff coming down the pipeline. But I want to have as many fail safes as possible that I don't actually have to work for. And YouTube. I forgot about YouTube. And we don't have to actually work for a YouTube channel, Bamboo Project. We don't have to actually work for, because I want it to be, like I said, I don't want to have to actually put in the work to get the money, so I can actually be at home and get paid while I'm not working. That's the goal. It's not about having a lot of money. It's about not working for the money that you do get. So that's that. So my bike is doing whatever. So I had to buy a bunch of parts for my bike again this week, and hopefully they will come in before Friday. My goal is to be back at work before the next podcast. That is my goal. And I got a bunch of new parts for my bike. So that means that my bike should be even performing a lot better than it was before. Now, what was I going to say? Tomorrow I'm supposed to go to the memorial for my dad, which I didn't want to go to. I still don't really want to go. And the only reason I'm going is because my sister asked me to go. And other than that, I wouldn't be going. That is the only reason why I'm going to this thing, because I don't see the purpose of going to these ceremonies like this, because the person that is for is not going to be there. So it's kind of weird to me to go to this. So I'm just like, whatever. And I said before, if you heard the other podcast, episode 5, when we talked about this before, I think it was it? I don't think it was 5. It might have been 5. I'll put it up on the thing in the description, or in the, I'll put it, whatchamacallit. Actually, can you look it up, what episode that was? Where I talked about not liking people telling me I'm sorry for your loss, because it comes across as annoying to me, because when you say that, it's like, all I can say to you is it's okay, but I shouldn't have to console you, and I'm the one that lost somebody. So I'm gonna be going to this event, and everybody's gonna be acting all weird and stuff, and I'm gonna be trying to console other people, and everybody's gonna be telling me, Donovan, no, we whatever you need, I got you. Whatever you want, I got you. But don't ask for too much, because I don't have all of that. But just give me whatever you kind of need. If you need a ride somewhere, I can give you a ride. If you need a pencil, I got you. But don't ask for nothing too serious. And I'm just like, bro, I don't really need anything from anybody. So that's why I don't like going to these things. But my sister asked again, so that's the reason why I'm gonna go. So that, you said what?
I believe it's episode 5.
How to believe?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I think it's episode 5.
Okay.
Handling my dad.
Yeah. So episode 5. So yes, I'm going to that tomorrow. Melissa said she will come with me. So that's gonna be interesting. So because this is happening, it kind of takes a day out of me having to wait for the things to come in. So then when the things come in, I have to wait for Duke to come and put the things on the bike. So like I said, that could be a thing. Hopefully it's not. I'll pay for him to come over here because I'm kind of just like, one of the things that about business that bothers me is that I don't have full autonomy over everything in my life in terms of my bike. The only and I've worked up to about 90% of it. So everything up on my bike I know how to fix except for the motor. That's the only thing I've never tried to fix on my bike. I just either buy a new one or I never had a problem like this before. But here we are with the motor and probably the controller, opening it up and fixing that. But the wires I can do, but the motherboard and stuff like that I can't. I don't know the software behind it. But between that and the motor, I know how to fix everything else. So I have to, wait for him to be ready to fix the bike and things like that. So I'm hoping, like I said, before next week, I can actually get back to riding my bike. It should be a lot better. I bought a new key switch, which is going to be fire. I got a new cycle analyst, which for people who don't know, is a new LCD screen, which tells me how fast I'm going and what time it is and things like that. It's fire. I got a new throttle. It's supposed to be a better throttle. Listen, I'm trying to get back to where I was. I'm trying to be better than where I was before, hopefully. And like I said, I'm going to start working more. But that's besides the point. And yeah, the housing market thing. I feel like because everybody is not paying rent right now, not everybody, a lot of people are not paying rent because they can't afford to pay it, and they can't get evicted, but they also are not working right now. So I think the housing market is going to go down. So I want to get in a position, which I don't know when it's going to happen, but I want to get in a better position to be able to buy a rental property. Like one of my goals is buy a rental property that can pay me enough money that I do not have to work for 1 week out of the month. That's all I want. Whatever that is, if it's $700, I will take $700 for a month. If it pays me $700, that's fine with me. For that, that's $100 a day for a whole month, a whole week. I don't have to work. That would be amazing for me. Now I just get 4 of those, and if I get 4 of those, that's $2,800 for the whole month. And I don't have to work. I make $2,800 a month without having to work. That sounds amazing. So like I said, that was the goal when I get my money, was to go after. The goal when my bike started to work was to pay for the real estate course to learn how to actually invest in property. And then the bike stopped working. So it was just kind of like, all right, now we got to wait a little bit longer to get the information that I need to be able to buy the things I want to buy. Can you scroll down? So the audio. Oh, yeah. So this segment of the podcast called the episode playback. This is where I actually talk about the last podcast and things that I feel like I either spoke incorrectly on, didn't explain my thoughts well enough, or just things that I heard, pretty much things I heard and thought about after listening to re-listening to the last podcast. So one thing I remember, the audio I didn't like was fucked up because I was too far away from the mic. But now that I have headphones, I don't know if y'all can hear me with these headphones. Listen, I can hear myself, so I know y'all can hear me. This shit sounds fucking fire. I know. So we fixed that, and this is gonna be a new thing. I think it's gonna be a permanent thing wearing headphones. Definitely gonna have to keep these shits in. I could probably use my AirPods too, right? I can't use my AirPods. I forgot. There's no Bluetooth on here, so I can't use my AirPods. I wasn't going to, but I just thought maybe I could. But whatever. I had said we had millions of thoughts a day. I wanted to correct that. We don't have millions of thoughts. I looked it up. It said 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day. So just wanted to correct that. I'm trying to read my notes, and my notes say some shit like, why everything is rape. I don't know what that means. Rape is taking power. Oh. Wait, what? Huh. I'm pretty sure what I was trying to say was that why everything isn't rape. That's probably what I was trying to say. It says is. It should say is not. So pretty much why everything is not rape. Rape is, in my definition, is taking power away from the victim. Damn, if somebody grabbed your titty, do you feel powerless in that situation? I don't think they took power away from you, did they? I don't think so. I don't that. Yeah, I feel like once you penetrate somebody, that's taking power away from them. I feel like that's different. Huh? Yeah.
You can still feel violated if somebody grabbed you.
Yeah, you can definitely feel violated and disrespected, but I feel like... Oh, no. Okay, I remember what I was saying. I was saying that when it comes to rape, that would be a weird situation. Okay, this is what my thought process was. That it is only rape when they take your power away from you. So if they tie you up and take your ability away from you to be able to fight back, that's rape. If you don't have the ability to fight back or stop them, that is what I consider rape. So having sex with somebody that you have drugged is drugged up would be considered rape. Having sex with somebody that you tied up against their will, held them at gunpoint, or beat them up, that would be considered rape, in my opinion. I think this is why a lot of guys tend to kind of be reluctant to say things were rape when they hear about it, because for guys, rape has to be an exchange, not exchange, it has to be a situation where power is taken away from the woman, or man from the man, whatever. That's considered rape. But if you were having sex with a guy that's your boyfriend, and you could have walked away, guys don't really consider that rape. And I definitely don't consider it rape. But if any guy hears a story about a girl who was attacked and then raped, every guy automatically gets triggered and goes, "What the fuck? That shit sounds crazy." But when they start adding all the other stories in, well, I didn't know it was gonna be rape, and then I was giving him head, and I didn't like the way he came in my mouth, so that's rape. And it's like, we don't really think that's rape. It has to be a situation where the guy takes the power away from the woman. That's what we consider to be rape. Oh, we're supposed to be up here. Yes, it was mad low. Okay, so here's better. All right. So that's what we consider rape. What else? On the list of episode playback, it says women shouldn't let rapists dictate their life. You shouldn't be afraid to get raped. You should understand it's a possibility and move accordingly. So by that, what? So, and I was kind of on the fence about this theory, because does the rapist have power over you if you're changing your life according to the possibility of getting raped again? So that's why I was kind of on the fence about it, because the whole reason I tell Melissa or anybody else when I talk about this that women should take responsibility for their rape is because I feel like it's more empowering to do so. So me and Melissa had a conversation about this last week, and I had titled the podcast. You want me to say what the title was or no? I titled the podcast "Why I Don't Believe Melissa's Rape Story," and we talked about the titling of the podcast. He did not like that I titled it that. And one of the reasons why I feel like women should, or rape victims should, take responsibility for the rape is not because it's their fault, but because if they don't take responsibility for it, then when situations like that happen, like when me and Melissa were having that conversation, I feel as though it hurts a lot more, because if she felt like it was already her fault, then I don't believe that she would care that I didn't believe what she told me. I think it would be more so like, all right, that's what you think, or I know I did this thing wrong. I should have did that. Like, maybe you're right. I probably should have did this thing differently, or I probably should have went that way. So that's why it's more of a mental thing behind it and a psychology behind it. Same thing I say with forgiving people. They say to forgive people for your own sake, not for the other person. So to take responsibility for an action that you didn't do is what leaders do. It's something that you just have to accept. Like, listen, I can blame everything on everybody. Like I say, it's his fault that he did this, and it's her fault that happened, and it's their fault this happened. And then when you do that, you'll never take responsibility for it being your fault. And the thing is more so about the second step of taking responsibility. The second step of taking responsibility is having the power and the mindset of a person that goes, okay, I can change my destiny. I can change the outcome of a situation. I can change what happens going forward. And when you go and step into that mindset, you look at things differently, because now you go, okay, I know I shouldn't walk outside around a corner at 2:00 in the morning in my underwear. That's probably not safe. I shouldn't do that. And I think what happens is, now when you come home, you feel like you won. You feel like you have a win, because you made a decision to avoid yourself from getting raped. And when you went outside, you didn't get raped. So I feel like if you leave it up to chance, kind of like, well, I might get raped today, so if it happens, it happens. Whatever happened, it's like, I think it's better to have a mindset of saying, I have control over whether I get raped or not, or I have the ability to make that possibility. I have the ability to lower the probability of me getting raped. And I think that's a powerful position to be in. So that's why I always say that I think girls should accept responsibility for getting raped. What else? Melissa's agreeableness. So I remember we were having a conversation. Do you remember that conversation that we had about the agreeableness? I feel like it was related to finances.
We were watching Jordan Peterson. They already talking about the podcast.
me and you were having a conversation, and I said that's why I think that you agree with what I say because of what he said on the podcast. And you almost got like annoyed about something. You were over here, I was sitting over here. I was on the computer on the laptop, and you were on the couch, and we were talking about. I think I had asked you. I believe you told me that you understood something I was saying and you didn't. Bro, I'm like, what does that sound? I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know what it was. I'm like, I just hear my ears. I'm like, is that me? You okay, kitty? She's like in the bed. I never seen her do it like this. She's like laying down and doing it like she's sleeping. She normally will get out and then do that little stance that she's in. So I really think the reason she does that is for whatever reason she can't get hairballs out. But I don't know why she can't get them out. I think that's what's causing that to happen. She's trying to get it out, but something is like not coming up. Maybe she don't know how to do it. I feel like that's not a thing. They should know how to do it. Do lions have hairballs? She probably looks crazy. But I don't remember the specific conversation we were having, but Melissa's agreeableness that came up because of the Jordan Peterson interview that we heard was the fact that Melissa will say she understands what I'm saying when she doesn't. And I think that I was saying to her that it annoys me because I'll be saying something to her and I'm like, okay, do you get that? We were talking about the stocks and the numbers on the stocks, and I was asking if you understood something, and you were like, yeah. And then when we were sitting on the bed talking about it, you were like, yeah, I think you're talking about earlier. I know what you're talking about. It was about the negative ratio of
the debt to income.
Yeah, debt to equity ratio. And the reason that it annoyed me is because I when I talk to Melissa, I'm like, okay, I want to see if what I'm saying makes sense to other people. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I don't understand what I'm saying. So I'll say it to her, and I'm like, okay, how does that sound to you? And she'll be like, yeah, it makes sense. And I'm like, all right. So we'll have a conversation about it, and then she won't understand what I'm talking about. And I'm like, but you told me earlier that you knew what you were talking about. And then the reason I'm bringing this up is because last week we talked about agreeableness, and I feel like, what?
What does that have to do with agreeableness?
Because I feel like that you would rather say, I understand what you're saying, than saying that I don't understand what you're saying.
But how's that being?
Because they're going with the conversation. Because if you have to say I don't understand what you're saying, you're kind of disagreeing with what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So if I'm like, yeah, 2 + 2 is 5, and you're like, and I'm like, that makes sense. You're like, yeah.
I mean, I feel like I be understanding what you're saying in that part. Because we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My definition of understanding what you're saying is kind of like, okay, I heard it, and I'm like, okay, that sounds like that makes sense. But you said that your definition of it is me being able to, like, say it back to you, or being able to explain it myself in my own words. And that's not what I took as understanding.
Yeah. I think that you hear what I'm saying, and I don't think that hearing is understanding, because I think that you can repeat back what I said because it's just words that I said. But I'm like, okay, can you explain or give me an example of how we can make this better, or break this down and rework this? You don't want to do it because you didn't understand what I said the first time, because you were kind of just like you heard me, but you understand what I was saying. But I feel like you know that you don't understand. That's the problem. I think it'd be different if you thought you understood it, but you didn't. I feel like you'd be like, and then I'd be like, you got it? And you'd be like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. And I go on with it, and then you just be like, not understanding it. You look like you're making a face.
Because I don't know if I completely agree with it.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out why I do that. Because, I mean, I think it's part of me being lazy too.
Lazy? What's the lazy part?
Because some of the stuff that you'll, like, explain to me, in my head I'll be thinking, I don't really think I need to know this. So, it's kind of like okay, I understand what you're saying right here. right?
But you don't though.
I don't understand it well enough to repeat. I can repeat what you said back to me.
That's not understanding it.
I know, but I can't explain it to you.
Cause you don't understand it.
Yeah, but like in my head, it's like, okay, if I could repeat what you said to me, that means I understand it, and that means I was listening.
Right. It means you heard what I said, but you don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm like, you don't understand what I'm saying. So you just be like, and you know, I think you know you don't understand, and you just be like, all right, yeah.
That's true. Cause then you'd be like, you sure? I'm like, nah, I don't think
I feel like you'd be like, yeah. I feel like you understand. You'd be like, yeah, but you sure? You'd be like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I start drawing it, and then you make that face like, I'm like, you get it? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so what we gonna do now? We gonna invest stocks like this, and you like, what? What happened? What we gonna do? I'm like, all right, so.
I mean, I don't think it happens as often.
I disagree with that.
Why do you disagree?
Because I feel like I don't know, probably yesterday. I don't be counting the time, so I don't know. But yeah, so that was the thing. So I guess for guys out there who, you know, anybody dealing with other people, I don't even know how to approach that. What would that situation? Because my response to that is always just, I don't care. Like that's my initial response to everything is, I don't care, leave it alone. That's my initial response to everything. But then I have to go, okay, some things I should probably care about. So then I have to go, okay, how should I respond to those things that I should care about?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Because
Wait, why don't you care?
Because if you're not trying to listen to what I'm saying, why would I care to keep telling you it if you don't want to hear what I'm saying? It's like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. You're like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, why would I keep trying to then convince you to do the thing that you clearly don't want to do or learn how to do? Yes. So
how do you do it?
What?
Because isn't that I'm sorry.
No, it's because Melissa's playing a game right now. That's what just happened. So she has no idea what I'm saying. That's what just happened. So I kept talking to her so she could to give her the opportunity to say that she hears me and understands what I'm saying, and I let her respond. That's what you guys heard. You heard her trying to respond while playing the game. It didn't work. That's what just happened. So, yes.
You have to air me out like that.
I was watching the whole time. Okay, I'm gonna keep going though. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna just keep going. Let's see if she hears what I'm saying or understands what I'm saying. What I was saying, Melissa, was my main response is I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? But how do I respond to something that I should care about that I don't care about? Because if it was up to me, whenever there was a problem, I would just be like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't care. Every time, I just be like, whatever. It's not that serious. I don't care. That's literally my response to everything. Anything that's a problem, I don't care. Please make it. I don't understand face. Maybe if you squint harder, you can understand what I said. Keep squinting. Squint really hard. Just close your eyes and then squeeze them together, and that's how you know what I'm saying.
Because I'm like, okay, I don't know what you mean.
Which part don't you know what I mean?
Because I don't know. Okay, so you're saying that. So what's the problem?
I am trying to figure out with the agreeableness that you go through. What should my response be to that? Because my initial response to that is going, I don't care. Like we were talking about something over here before, I forgot what it was. If you do that face, I could just be like, okay, I can tell she doesn't care, so I'm just gonna stop talking about it. That's my initial response to everything. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that shouldn't be my response though.
You be doing that?
I tried not to, but I have to tell myself, don't do that.
That's how you deal with it then.
Deal with what?
With that.
With what?
With trying to just say I don't care.
What? Because
you're saying that whenever we have those types of conversations where you guys are not paying attention to what you're saying, or I'm not being responsive, your initial reaction is to go like, okay, you know what, I don't care, and stop talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you you decide to try to keep the conversation going anyways. I feel like that's how you should respond to that. Or are you trying to say how to respond to me?
I mean, you're in the category, so I'm like,
What category?
of people that I'm talking to that aren't understand what I'm saying, but aren't trying to understand. So I just go, I don't care. You're in the category.
Yeah, but you handle it by keep trying to talk about it.
I feel like that's insanity.
Why is that insanity?
Why would I do that? Like, what's the purpose of doing that?
Because you're insane.
Clearly, that's obviously. I think we figured it out. That's what it is.
I think because a lot of the times when that happens is because there's a miscommunication. It's like you're talking about something and I'm talking about something else.
Yeah, but the other person is not explaining to me what they're hearing. And we're talking about you specifically right now because that's what we're talking about. Because I'll ask you, what are you saying? Or what do you hear me saying? And then I feel like it don't really be going where it's supposed to go after that.
It does, though.
It turned to a situation it shouldn't turn into.
It do, but then out of the situation, it's clear.
But I'd rather, I mean, funny enough, one of the rules in the game is always have the argument. That's one of the rules in the game. So I guess that's just always have the argument.
What does that mean?
It means always do that. Like have the conversation about the stuff and go through that, even though it's stressful.
You don't want to?
Even though it's stressful, because it's unnecessary. Because I'm like, if I ask you a regular question and it turns into something that shouldn't turn into, I'd be like, why am I having this conversation? I don't feel like this conversation should be going to this direction. So I should just probably not have this conversation. Because it's stress free if I don't have the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why is
I
that?
think it would linger and it would like kind of pop up later or something.
And then I'll break up with you.
Is that what you want?
If it's stress free, yes. Yes. I mean, this is my whole thing about what I'm talking about is my initial response is to just sever the connection. That's my initial response. If this thing is stressing me out, stop interacting with the thing that's stressing you out. That's literally my response. I'm like, if I'm drinking water and I'm drowning, stop drinking water. That's literally how I think about it. Oh, this is remove it. That's how I think about it. You making what is going on with your face? What?
The last thing I heard was yes.
To what?
If it's stressful.
Yes.
There's always going to be stress. Or if it's stress free.
Yes.
So then.
That's my response to the question. That's what my brain goes to. My brain goes to, is this stressful? Can you just remove the stress? Yes. Yes, you can. Remove the stress. Very simple in my brain. But
And why don't you do that?
because I don't think it's not sustainable. I would leave everybody and everything all the time. So I'm like, okay, how do I deal with that? So, like I said, I wonder if other guys have this, like what they think about this. Because like I said, I understand that the conversation needs to be had. And I don't mind having the conversation. The issue I have with certain conversations when we talk is that I feel as though you're trying to win the conversation. And I'm like, I'm not trying to win a conversation. And then I feel like you think I'm attacking you by me saying, I don't understand what you're saying. And then that is stressful. Because I'm like, I don't have a problem having a discourse. Like, okay, I don't think so. I think so. But when it gets to like you getting annoyed by us having that normal conversation, now I'm kind of like, why am I having the conversation? Like, what is the is it worth this? Because now if you win the conversation, you're going to act a certain way because you felt like you won, even though it wasn't a thing to be won. It was a conversation and an exchange of information. That's what it was. It wasn't a battle. It was like I don't understand what you're saying. Okay, let me communicate differently. Oh, okay, boom. It's that. And I feel like then if what you're saying is right and I'm wrong, it's a you won, not a I understand what you're saying now. And I think that's where the problem comes in. I'm like, do I really want to? Is that really worth dealing with? So that's what I'm talking about.
But you do that too.
I do what?
Like, it's not, you don't always come from a neutral standpoint. Well, let me not say that. You may think that you're being neutral, but the words that you say come off as, like, pushing. So it'll make me feel like you are trying to win the conversation. And then we'll talk about it, and then you'll say, well, that's not what I meant. I meant this, or I meant to say this. But I'm going based off of what you said. Example, you're bad at head. That's one. Right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you wouldn't. Okay. Oh my God, it's the wrong person. I don't know. No, let's choose a different one.
Okay.
I mean, you saying that I'm terrible at head. Right?
Yes.
It's if that's the statement that you are going with, right? You say that I'm terrible at head. This is the worst, right?
I didn't say that second part, but okay. I get what you're trying to say.
Right?
Yes.
I'm gonna have an emotional response to that. So when that happens, yeah, I'm gonna have an emotional response to that because I feel like you're attacking me. And then we'll talk about it, and you'll be like, listen, what I consider terrible head to be is not amazing. So, yeah, your head is like, it's okay, like it's good. But, I had to hit this, and that in order for me to say that is great or amazing or tier 1, tier 2 head. But because I don't come from it, it feels really, really good, but I don't come from it. I can't say that is great head. It has to be terrible head. And it's like, you ain't have to start off the conversation by saying that I get terrible head. You could have just said, listen, I have multiple tears, blah, blah, blah. But that first thing that you said makes me feel emotional because it makes me feel like you're coming. Does it not make sense?
It's not that it does not make sense. It does make sense. I think the issue that I'm having, or the thought that I'm having with that, and I think we've had this conversation before. This is something that Hunter has told me before. Probably somebody else. I like putting the things in the beginning. I do not like to have all of the extra stuff in the beginning. Because I feel like it's me trying to soften the blow for whatever I'm going to say.
But I don't think whatever you be saying really be that bad. But you overextend and you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to say this thing that's all the way to the, because I think you're avoiding, let's say the middle is 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, right? You don't want to start off at 1.
Which would be what?
1 would be building up to whatever it is that you're trying to say.
Okay.
Which is 5.
Okay.
But what you do instead is you go to 10. So that whatever it is that you're saying, when you explain it, it's like you're bringing it down to 5. But I'm like, you could start off at like a 6 or like a 7 and then bring it to 5. You don't have to go to 10.
It's funny. That's how I edit.
Yes, that is how you edit.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, what's the worst possible way I could say this? I'm going to say that. And then once we talk about that, and then you bring it down to whatever it is that you're really saying. That same thing he does with the titles of the podcasts and all of that.
Yes.
Do everything. So it's kind of like, and you know what to say to make people feel some type of emotion. So it's like, yeah. Why don't you agree?
I didn't say I don't agree. I'm thinking about it. I'm processing what you're saying. It makes sense because that's what like I said, that's what I do. I'm trying to figure out why I do that. I mean, my theory as to why I do that is because, and I don't do this consciously, especially not really during conversation, but it's so that you can be comfortable with anything else after that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that's I'm like I don't really think I do it consciously, but that is I'm wondering why I do that. Why do I say the worst thing so that when I say the normal thing, it's like, oh, okay.
I think it's also.
I think I know
for
why.
you too.
Why?
I think it makes you feel more comfortable because if you start off by saying the worst possible thing you could say,
Mm-hmm.
anything you say after that is easier to say. Same way that anything that I hear from you after that will be easier to accept because you already said the worst.
Hmm.
Because I feel like you feel probably anxious or stressed out about certain topics and conversations as well. So if you just get it out there, the worst possible scenario, because that's basically what you told me to do. That's why you told me to handle birds and kitty and everything.
It is. It is how I say. To jump into it. Hmm. 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 Very interesting. I feel like you're dancing. Why are you dancing? See? That's what we're talking about. See, now she's dancing.
I can't dance.
So she,
I'm not even dancing. I'm
this is, see? All right. Now, watch this. Why are you swaying, Melissa? Go ahead. Go ahead, say it. I know. Go ahead, say it. Go say why you swaying, Melissa. Go ahead.
Because I'm happy.
Why are you happy?
Because
Uh-huh.
I'm very self-conscious about things that I say.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be wrong.
Uh-huh.
So it makes me happy that I said something that is right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donovan thinks that I feel like I'm winning the competition. And
Uh,
that's why I'm dancing. Is that true?
it is, but I feel like
It's like writing that essay, you get an A on it. That's how I feel.
I mean yeah. Yeah.
Because there's times where you listen back, you listen back, I listen back to the podcast. I'm like, why the fuck did I say that? Can you cut that out? Can you put that in there? So right now I feel like you can keep that. You can leave that in there. I'm happy with this one.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. I'm trying to think of the time that made me start doing it. So pretty much everybody didn't really hear that. Yeah, probably did, but what we just discovered, I would say, is that I tend to say the worst thing possible when handling a situation that might make me feel uncomfortable. And an example of that would be if I think that somebody is wearing an ugly shirt, and I wouldn't even do this, but for this example's sake, yeah, that shirt's really ugly. I might do that.
You would do that, especially if it's me. Especially if it's me. You've done that. You sat on the bed.
I said I don't like that. Is what I will say.
No.
I don't say that shirt's ugly.
No.
I don't say that.
You looked me in my soul and said, "Do you think you look good in that?"
What is that?
Do you
Right.
really
But
think
did
you
I
look
say?
good in that?
But did I say it was ugly?
What do you say?
No. I was literally
Are
asking
you
you.
really gonna go outside like that?
The reason that I said that is because I wanted to make sure that you weren't going outside dressed like that because you felt like other people thought you would look good if you dressed like that. So I'm like, do you think that you look good dressed like that? If you think that you look good dressed like that, then fine. If you think that, then cool. Not you as in like, yo, you wildin'. Like you think you look good in that? Like, no, it's more like if you in your soul feel like, okay, I look good, then fine.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Because the difference is I want to make sure that you're doing it not because somebody else is persuading you to do it. Like if all your friends are wearing some thought outfit and you put on a thought outfit and you like, I'm going outside, I'm like, do you really want? I'm like,
I wear that same outfit now, but now it's not a thought outfit because my body is better.
what are you talking about?
Oh, my body's more
What are you talking about? What are you
I'm
talking
talking
about?
about specific situations.
Are you? We're not talking. What are you? Okay, I was giving an example of a random thought outfit and random friends that you may have.
But this is something that actually happened. So.
Okay. So especially when you use this as an example. Do you think that you look so okay, perfect example. You went out with your friends with that thing that you whatever it was. What is this? Okay, what was it? What is it called?
It was a romper.
Okay. So you were gonna go outside in a romper that you can't fit.
So, why you gotta say that I fit inside? I was wearing it.
It didn't fit you. You was inside.
But that's what you were saying.
What?
That's what you were saying. You looked at me and was like, "Are you that doesn't look good? Are you sure you want to go outside?"
Yes, because again, like I said 5 seconds ago, and like you stated, you look good in the romper now. So before, to my point, I don't think you thought you looked good in the romper. I think that you were trying to look like your friends, and they were wearing scantily clothed outfits, and you're like, "What can I wear that fits into that?" And you go, "Damn, this don't fit me, but it's scantily cladly dressed or whatever, and I'm gonna put it on because they have skin showing. I need to show my skin, but even though my I don't fit this, I'm put on anyways." So I'm asking, I'm like, "Okay, look in the mirror. Do you like how you look in the mirror?" Yes, you do. Are you sure?
I said yes, and then you were asking if I was sure.
Because I want to make sure. I want to make sure.
You was like, "You sure?"
I'm like,
"You sure you look
I'm
good
like,
in that?"
I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Donovan,
Because I want to,
Donovan, you
because
were damn near saying,
because
"Take that
I
shit
know,
off. It looks
because
ugly. You look
because
ugly."
I know, no, because I know that you may feel like you look bad in it, but keep it on anyways, because of whatever other peer pressure happening or whatever societal pressure, whatever.
Why has to be any of those things?
Because you succumb to those things. Do you remember this? Do you remember that? Oh, you remember that? Okay then. So, that's my point.
But I don't think that's peer pressure or societal pressure.
It's the uncomfortability.
I think that happens when you're around other people.
No.
Sometimes. Yes, it is.
No.
Because you even said it yourself that you'll either say a phrase that your friend says or laugh a certain way.
That's not the same thing.
How is it not the same thing?
Because you were doing what she did. I believe it was consciously. That's what I think.
I'm shaking my head no.
Oh yeah, listen. I think that's what happened. I think you did that action because she was doing it and you didn't know what else to do. But I think you did that because you felt uncomfortable. That's the difference. I don't say what I say because I feel uncomfortable. I actually say what I say that other people would say because that's me. It doesn't equate to me being uncomfortable. Like if I laugh like somebody else, not because I'm uncomfortable. Or if I say a phrase that somebody else says, not because I'm uncomfortable. It's because I was hanging out with them for too long. That's what happens. Because you didn't come in the house and start doing that. You didn't come in the house and be like, "Hey, Donovan." I would be like, "The fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that?" I don't understand why you're doing that. But you did it because you felt uncomfortable. So that's the difference. Which is, I say, the pressure of feeling uncomfortable made you do something that you don't normally do.
But that's not peer pressure. Because peer pressure is someone pushing you to do something that you don't normally do or don't want to do. It's not like she was like. I don't feel like peer pressure. I don't think peer pressure has to be her overtly stating to do something. I think it could be everybody smoking around you and then you smoke because everybody's doing it. "Hey, Melissa, you want one?" All right. That's what I'm saying. Someone's offering something to you.
That's not peer pressure. I mean, they're not telling you to do it. But you feel like, "Damn, I don't want to be seen as weird, so I'm gonna do this thing." And I feel like that's what happened there. You feel uncomfortable. You're like, "Damn, I don't know what to do to not feel uncomfortable, so I'm gonna do this thing." so but yeah, so that was the episode playback of the podcast. I actually want to get into the fact that Melissa didn't make any fruit this week because I'm hungry.
That's not my fault.
It's my fault?
Yeah.
Why is my fault? Huh?
It's not my fault.
Whose fault is it?
They didn't have the fruit.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know whose fault this is.
I ordered fruit.
Uh-huh.
And they only gave me one fruit. The shit was moldy.
Cause my mouth is mad dry right now. I need some what do they call mangoes?
And I made snacks. I mean, made blueberry muffins. And
on a non-food day. After I said you should not do that, I'm like, Melissa, it's not a food day.
It's not a non-food.
It was definitely not a non-food day. 'Cause I came in the house and it was on Saturday. It definitely wasn't Thursday. Cause you got the stuff on Wednesday, I think. No, you got it on Thursday, I think. The stuff. I think you got it on Thursday. You went to your mom's house on Wednesday. I think when you came back on Thursday, you went back to her on Thursday.
It was on Thursday.
That's when you got it. Cause you went there on Wednesday.
I got it on Wednesday.
Was I working on Thursday? Cause I wasn't in the house.
No, I got it on Thursday.
So you made.
Thursday is closing food.
Mm-hmm. So it's
So I
Friday.
probably did it on either Friday or Saturday.
Either way, all I'm saying is. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
I be trying to feed you, but obviously, you know what?
Listen, no.
Don't tell me you're hungry and it's not a
Listen,
food
this is why there's a schedule. This is the reason. So these things don't happen. So that's why it's 2 food days. They spread out specifically on certain days. You make food on Monday that lasts until Thursday.
But okay, and Thursday, I had something to do on Thursday, so Thursday didn't work out.
What you do on Thursday?
I went to my mom's house.
I think you went there on Wednesday.
No,
Yes, you did.
I went to on Thursday because remember I was saying because Thursday is closing.
You went on Wednesday.
I went Thursday.
I'm gonna tell you how I know.
No.
You went back on Thursday because you forgot something.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Because I said, are you gonna edit over there? And you took your thing over there with you. You took your laptop over there on Wednesday, and then you forgot the Seagate, and you went back there on Thursday morning.
I'm gonna see when I called Justin.
When you called who?
Justin, because I
Oh.
called him to put the thing up. I went there on Thursday. I went there on Thursday.
Second time.
First time.
So you went back on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you was there on Wednesday.
I was there on Thursday, and I know I was there on Thursday because I sold the thing for my mom before I left. And I was like, see, that's closed. I remember that.
Facts. You did say that, and I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I don't think that count. That's close.
But either way, you're right. I did not make it on a Tuesday. I did not make it the day that I.
On Thursday. I mean, either way, the fact of the matter is that we didn't have enough money. I was not. I feel like I didn't buy enough stuff for us to have food. I feel like that's partly part of the reason. Either way.
So too, but I didn't say it.
So I know. I was looking at you. I'm like, say it. You gonna say it? You gonna say nothing? All right, then. But anyways, okay. The main episode. No, it's the wrong sentence. The podcast today, I want to talk about my alkaline diet. I'm getting kind of hot. I kind of want to change. I'm gonna change my shirt to something else. I'm hot. Laptop. I'll actually sit back now and do this because now I put the thing right here. Okay. Ooh. It's mad big. Okay, that's fine though. All right, so we are on a diet which some call the alkaline diet or the electric diet. We started this diet because of Dr. Sebi. Now, the premise behind the diet is supposed to be that you eat foods that have an alkalizing effect on your body. Now, they have alkaline and then they have acidic. And this is according to the pH scale, right?
Can you sit up?
You think so? Okay. And I'm trying to.
Probably better sitting.
So again, the premise behind the food is supposed to be that you have alkaline food, which has an alkalizing effect, which is a cleansing effect. Something that would be alkaline would be baking soda. No, would be bleach. Bleach and baking soda are both alkalizing effect. Now you think of bleach, you think you pour it on something, it burns it away. You would think it's acidic, but it's not really acidic. Like if you swallow bleach, it makes you throw up a lot because it's cleaning out your body. But it's cleaning out to a very, very severe dosage of it. The opposite of that would be acid, which would burn your body's throat. It would actually burn you out and, burn your skin and shit like that. So that's that. Now, on one end of the spectrum, you have the really alkaline things like I said, bleach. On the other end, what's something that's really acidic? That's like really bad for you. battery acid, right? Now, you don't want either one of these things. Both of those are really bad. You don't want to eat battery acid and you don't want to drink bleach. Those are both bad. But you want something that's going to be more alkaline so that it can clean out the acidic things you have in your body. Now, one of the problems that I had with people that, or what I've heard, is that some people will say that, oh, you can't change your blood pH balance. That's not what the purpose of the food is. The purpose of the food is not to change your blood pH, because your blood pH is supposed to stay at a certain level. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to let me see, hold on. I'm trying to remember what happened. Where does the food? Oh, okay, now I remember. So okay, right. This goes down to molecular level. When you eat the foods that are alkalizing, it comes down to what their molecular structure is. So let me see. Atoms, electric charge positive. So here you go. The more hydrogen ions present, the lower the pH is. So the more hydrogen ions that are in an atom, the lower the pH of that substance will be. The fewer hydrogen ions, the higher the pH alkaline. I'm gonna say that again. The fewer hydrogen ions, the higher the pH will be. So that can be something that's more alkaline. A high alkaline means high pH. Something that's acidic has a low pH, right? So we're going to do a little bit of science here. So, get real close listening. These are notes that I've taken before for me to understand why I eat the new foods that I do eat. So acids are substances that have... I gotta slow down. Okay. Acids are substances that have hydrogen ions. Okay. Oh, perfect. An ion is an atom or group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative. That is an ion. I am reading that definition because the word ion will come up over and over again. So I'm going to say it again. An ion is an atom. You know what an atom is, right? Hydrogen atom. You got your, what's another atom, Melissa? Oxygen atom, right? No, it's a molecule. An atom is a group of molecules, right? No? I feel like it is. No.
I think the atoms are what molecules are made of.
Isn't that what I just said? Atoms are a group of molecules.
Atom is a group of molecules. I think
Atoms
make up molecules. So I'm thinking based off of like a molecular structure will be H2O. Oxygen is an atom. Because I'm thinking about it in terms of the atomic table.
Yeah.
So oxygen is a...
Is a what?
It is an atom.
Hydrogen atom?
Oxygen is an atom. Yeah, I think oxygen is an atom. I said no, it is.
Okay, that's a weird... Okay, the reason that's weird to me is because there's an oxygen molecule and there's an oxygen atom. They both the same. Like the O2 is oxygen, but O by itself is also oxygen. But you can only inhale one. So would you say that water is a molecule? Or it's a water... Right, okay, so...
That's what I'm saying, because water is 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen.
2 hydrogen atoms.
Yeah, so 1 oxygen.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so an ion is an atom or group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative. I'm going to say it one more time so we all on the same page. Not just for y'all, but for me too. So I can remember these things when somebody asks this to me on the street. An ion is an atom. So in an elemental chart, that's what that would be. An ion is an atom or group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative. Okay, so the more hydrogen ions that are present, the lower the pH of that food will be. The fewer hydrogen ions that are present in your food, the higher the alkaline, the higher the pH. So acids are substances that have hydrogen ions and are lower on the pH, whereas bases or alkaline type food provide hydroxide ions and raise your pH. So if I'm saying, I'm gonna say this to you, Melissa, and then you tell me if you understand what I'm saying, so that they can understand what I'm saying. There we go. Of course not. That wouldn't help. Because if I'm talking to you right now, I have to say it in a way that you understand, so they can understand me too. So we're gonna start from the top. We start from number one. All right, guys. We're talking about alkaline food. We're talking about electric food. We're talking about why we don't eat the other food that's not good for you. We starting over. So if you heard me before talking, scratch everything I said. We starting over from the beginning, from zero. Here we go. Get ready. Boom. Melissa, what is an ion?
An ion.
Please say you don't know.
What do you mean?
Cause we starting over. So you the guest that don't know. Okay, you don't know. Let me tell you what an ion is, Melissa. An ion is an atom or group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative. Does that make sense? Now you can be you. Now you can be you.
Sure.
You said sure. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Say it one more time.
An ion is an atom or group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. Can you give me an example?
What do you mean?
You said it makes sense.
Because you just told me a sentence. Like, how do I say that it don't make sense?
2 + 2 is 5?
But that doesn't mean that does not make sense. What you just told me, it makes sense. But you didn't ask me if I understand it.
Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. Which part don't you understand? Go ahead. Anything.
I don't know how to give you an example of that.
Okay. And why not?
Because you haven't given me examples of what I
Okay. So this is perfect. Okay. So what is an atom to you, Melissa?
Well, when I think of an atom, I think of like hydrogen, oxygen, gold, I guess, those type of.
Those are atoms.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
And you can't look it up. You have to be okay with not knowing something. It's okay. It's all right to be uncomfortable. It's okay. All right? Jesus Christ. Okay. So, what is an atom, Melissa?
An atom is a I don't know.
Okay.
It's not on here.
You said what?
It's not on here, so I don't know.
You don't look at that. You're looking at me. We're having a conversation right now. Okay. You are the listener and Melissa at the same time. Okay. So a hydrogen atom and a hydrogen molecule are two different things. Okay. A hydrogen atom make up the hydrogen molecule. Because a hydrogen molecule has two hydrogen atoms.
It has to.
Yeah.
Like it has to have it.
Hydrogen. My bad. A water molecule. That's what I meant to say. A hydrogen atom makes up a water molecule. A water molecule has two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. H2O.
So is a hydrogen atom different from a hydrogen molecule?
It probably would be. A hydrogen atom would have to have more than one atom together to make it a molecule. So a hydrogen atom would be like one hydrogen by itself. If you put it together, it'd be H2, which is not a hydrogen atom. It'd be different. Yeah, right. I don't know. It might be H3. I don't know what a hydrogen molecule is, but it would be more than one hydrogen atom. Okay. So I'm gonna read it again. You tell me if you know what it means. Okay. An ion is an atom or group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
It means that if you put them in a group, they're gonna be ion. If it's positive or negative. If you put the
It don't sound like you understand.
if you put the atoms in a group, like H2O, I guess, would be what makes it positive or negative.
See, now these are the questions they're supposed to be asking. It's amazing questions. Okay, so this is what the audience wants to hear. What makes something negative or positive? We don't understand. We don't know, Donovan. I'll tell you right now. Okay, the more hydrogen ions that are present, it becomes more acidic, right? And then that makes it negative. Don't look, you're cheating. I see you cheating. I see you. Stop cheating. You're cheating.
Did you brush up on this before we started?
Of course not.
That sounds like I don't.
Of course not.
What are you doing?
Why would I brush up on it? So we can both understand
So
this.
you understand?
Why would I? That's not my job.
So whose job is it? I thought you was the one that understands, and that's why I'm asking questions.
Listen,
I did not know that she was gonna pull this up to talk about alcohol.
I was gonna bring up.
I thought she was gonna talk about our experience. I thought she was gonna talk about the recipe. I thought she was gonna talk about things that we know. How you gonna pull up things that we don't know that we don't
Listen, But we
And
do
we gonna
understand.
figure it out on
But
the
we
podcast.
understand it.
To a certain
When
extent.
yes, and how.
But we should have brushed
But
up on it
no,
before.
that's cheating. Because here's the thing, right?
How was that cheated?
Let me tell you why it's cheating, right? Because look, the best way to learn things, the best way to learn things is to be thrown into the fire. Go into 10.
I thought we just discussed that 10. Going to 10 isn't always
Nah,
the best
it is
thing.
the best, right? So now that we're here, now we have to be forced to learn it and understand this shit. So I bet you tomorrow, if I ask you, Melissa, which is a hydrogen ion, you can know what you can be like, I know what the fuck that shit is, and you're gonna understand it a little bit better. Same thing with me. Me saying it on the podcast and talking to you and trying to explain it to you. Because here's the thing: if I explain it to you and you don't understand it, the question that you ask will help you understand it. So then, whenever you play back to,
Explain it to me.
you said what?
How are you explaining it to me if you don't fully understand?
But I do. I have the notes right here. They're right there.
I saw
can
you
see
read
them.
the notes, Donnie. I saw you squinting. Why did you can read it? You just try to understand what you read if I squint.
It's because no. It's because it's too large and I can't see the whole sentence. That's why. You see that A is cut off? Is that acids or biacids? No, up there on the screen. You see at the end? Oh no, all the way it says acids on the left. Does that say acids or is another word before that? See, I can't even tell you because it's cut off. Oh, it said ion. See, I didn't even know that's what it said.
You know what? Don't hold me. You knew what it said.
Okay.
But I'm only doing it so you don't have no excuse.
Wait till we get to what a bicarbonate is, guys. So I'm giving. This is why I brought this part of the thing up. I'm not gonna go through all of it necessarily, but
I hope not.
I wanted to get people to have a more. I'm gonna tie it into things later as to why food is healthy and not healthy for them. But it all comes down to what it does to your body on a molecular level because your body is made up of cells, which are made up of molecules. That's true, right?
Honestly, I think we could speak to bodily functions better.
But this is all part of it.
It is.
That's what I'm saying. But I forgot which one comes. These are in cells. Cells are made up of this. Yeah, I'm not bugging.
everything is made
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not bugging. These are made, right.
It's not that you were bugging or not. It's just the fact that you.
I had to make sure.
He's like, mind you, I thought you had a revelation like, oh, that shit was fire. You over here like, is that true?
I had to make sure. I was like, which one's the smaller? But cells are definitely bigger than atoms. I had to double check. All right, so here we go. Back to the beginning. Okay, so Melissa, what is an ion?
I feel like I'm in school again. First you called me out, go play games on my phone. Now this.
Okay,
It's sunny outside. That's
Bruh.
crazy. That shit was a whole hurricane. What is an ion? Are you really asking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Yes.
What is an ion? An ion is a group of atoms. An ion is a group of atoms that can either have a positive or negative charge. Just because, listen,
See, so now you know that
I guess.
it can be either one or a group of.
I feel like these clouds are moving that fast.
Okay, so Melissa, good. So now we understand. Because now I was gonna get it to an ion is an atom or a group of atoms that can have a negative or positive charge. See, we learned something today on the Bamboo Project podcast. Okay, now step number 2. It's gonna get a little confusing here. Okay,
Go ahead.
the more hydrogen ions that are present, the more acidic the food is.
Okay.
The less hydrogen ions are present, the more alkaline it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you understand that?
Sure.
Okay. Go.
The more hydrogen ions that are present, the more acidic.
But you say you understand it. You don't understand it. Do you sure you understand what I'm saying? Why is that?
This, you're giving me a sentence of
Yes,
information and saying
but-
you won't understand it. You have not given me anything to apply it to.
Life.
I will throw you out this window.
So do you understand why that is?
Why? No.
What don't you understand?
I don't know why that is.
Why
I
would
don't know why. Why? I don't know why that is.
Why
I don't
would
know
it?
Why more hydrogen ions make it I don't know why more hydrogen atoms make it acidic, and having less makes it alkaline.
That's a great question. It's a great question. I got an answer for you. So the reason why, more hydrogen ions make it acidic is because they are lower on the pH scale. Okay. Now,
see this how you read it. You don't understand.
because I see it, but I'm like, I need to put it together because it's written in a way that is not
You said that.
palatable.
Palatable.
That's what I said.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You should have went through it first.
No.
And you should have said positive hydrogen.
Why? There's no.
It's there for a reason.
What's there for a reason?
The H plus.
Which? Okay, Melissa. No, wait. Put your phone down. No, you asked me. I know all the stuff. I know everything.
You don't, and then you gonna ask me to look it up afterwards.
Okay, so that's the great thing you pointed out there, right? So it says H plus, right? So do you know why it says H plus?
It's a positive ion.
Okay.
It's a positive. It's a positive ion. It's a positive ion. I understand. The difference between an atom and an ion is the fact that there's a charge. So an atom is just whatever it is. But it's so if it's just hydrogen, then it's just an atom. But once you have a negative hydrogen or a positive hydrogen, that's what makes it an ion. It needs to have a charge next to it to make it an ion.
I don't think that's true.
That's literally what an ion is.
Say it again. That doesn't make sense to me.
If you have the number 1,
Yeah.
it's just if you have hydrogen, that's what it is. It's hydrogen,
Okay.
right? But if you have hydrogen plus, it's an ion. Because
But-
it has a charge to it.
But I don't think you can have a hydrogen without a charge.
Yes, you can.
I don't think. What would it be? I don't think.
It would be hydrogen, or that's how you would speak about it.
But you
It would
can't-
be the atom.
But it has to have a charge.
No, it doesn't.
I feel like it does.
No, it doesn't. Because having a charge is what makes it an ion.
I don't
It just
think that's
changes
true.
What you're talking about.
Okay. I think I understand. I have it. Okay, here we go. Boom.
Because the thing that I would compare it to in math, I guess, would be an integer, maybe.
Okay, you're going too over my head, but I'm listening. I'm listening. Oh, I'm listening.
No, I wouldn't say.
Okay, so this is what I think. I think this is gonna be funny to somebody that's like a biologist.
Yes.
That
I think it's like if you understand this, please correct us. Please call in, message leave something in the comments on YouTube on the biology majors, chemistry majors actually. not
Yeah, chemistry,
biology.
right?
Yeah,
Chemistry.
majors.
Yeah.
Please.
They're gonna be like, what did they say? Did they say what?
That's fine too. But this is how you try to figure stuff out.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to get better at this. So, chemistry majors, right? So this is what I was gonna say. I think that you're right about the it being an ion, negative or positive, right? And I remember that something that makes an atom positive or negative charge is the amount of electrons that it has.
Yes.
Right. So, but if it has an equal amount, it'll be neutral.
Yes.
It isn't, so it cannot be charged positively
So
or negatively.
If it's neutral, it'll be an atom because it's in okay. Yes.
Ooh, we on that ass. We on that ass. Okay.
Because that's how it's supposed to be.
That's what
in
makes-
nature, or
yes.
That's what it's. That's literally what it is.
Ooh, that makes sense with the food
So
that we
when it's
eat.
an ion,
Okay.
That means that it either has too much or it has too little of the electrons.
Okay. Ooh. So that would mean that we have to eat the food.
I feel like we either high or something like that.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, kidding.
We're shouldn't here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so this is so I'm thinking this, right? When you have the foods, you want to eat the foods that either balance out the old foods that you ate in terms of on an electrical level, no, or you want to have more neutral foods? No, you want to have foods that balance out the acidic food that you eat. So you want to eat more positively charged foods so that, no? Why no? You're looking over there. You gotta look at me. That's cheating.
Well, based off of the fact that you said that if you have too much hydrogen plus
Uh
ions,
huh.
that makes it acidic. That
Uh-huh.
means that you would have to eat food that will take away the extra positive hydrogen ions that you have in your body.
Okay.
Because you have too many, so you need something that's going to take it away.
And it doesn't have to be a positive or negative. It doesn't have to be.
It has to be a negative.
Okay.
But you haven't gotten to that part yet. I looked at the
Yeah, I know. Are you cheating? I saw you. Okay, so here we go, guys. We're gonna try to start from the top again.
No.
Yes, we are. So we want everybody to go with us as we following it. Okay, what is an ion?
An ion is an atom that has a positive or negative charge.
Okay, boom. So you understand that, right? You get that? Cool. All right. What makes something acidic? What makes a food acidic?
If it has too many positive hydrogen ions.
What makes it alkaline?
You haven't told me that yet.
Okay, it's the fewer hydrogen ions. Fewer hydrogen ions. That's what I'm saying. I don't think. See? Oh. Huh. Are those both hydrogen ions?
Yeah.
H plus and OH minus?
But one is positive, one is negative.
What makes it a hydrogen ion? Does it have more hydrogen than an oxygen?
What do you mean?
Why is it called a Oh, no. It's called a hydroxide ion.
Because there's oxygen attached to it.
So it's still okay. So, but then okay. All right.
The O doesn't have a negative charge. The O is probably neutral.
I was going to say that the H there are more hydrogen ions attached to it that make it a hydrogen-based atom.
What do you mean?
So it's not called it's not called oxyhydro something because
That's only because that's how they say it.
but they usually only say that based off how many which of it is more of what there is more of. It's like there are more hydrogen ions there are more hydrogen atoms in that molecule.
But there's one of each.
One of each what?
There's one oxygen and one hydrogen.
Is that true? I don't think that's true.
Yes, it is.
I don't think that's true.
OH minus. It's one oxygen, one hydrogen. Because if it was two, it would say H2.
But they don't have the things there. Oh, I guess there's a 3 there. So I guess. So you're saying okay. So what are you saying?
I'm saying that there's still one hydrogen ion and one oxygen ion. So I don't think that they call it hydroxide.
Hydroxide.
Hydroxide because there's more hydrogen. I think they call it that because if oxygen is in the molecule, they automatically call it oxide.
But what about water?
I was supposed to look that up, but I think water is called dihydrogen.
Listen, we're gonna get to the part that makes sense later. We're gonna get there. We're trying to make this part as digestible as possible, and then we can just give it to y'all. I think this would be hilarious when we're on stage one day doing like a TED talk, and they pull us up, and we're like, "Yo, what is an ion? Is like an ion like electric or a not electric?"
So water would be a dihydrogen monoxide.
Because it's only one oxygen, right? So mono means one. Okay, boom, we on that. Di means two. All right, we on that. Okay, so why is it called hydroxide?
Because one of each, I think.
Oh, I remember reading that. I think IDE. Does that mean negative? Can you look that up? What is the end of the word? What do they call that? The suffix. Yeah, what the suffix IDE stands for?
Oh, it's to signify that the compound is made of two elements.
The IDE. So okay.
It's to signify that it's hydrogen and oxygen.
Okay, so can you also look up why they put hydro first instead of oxygen first?
Because I'm pretty sure it's because it's first in the thing.
But it's not.
Yes, it is. Hydrogen is first. Oh, it's not.
Yes, I'm wondering. I think it has to do with the electrons. I'm putting my money on that.
I think oxygen is always at the end.
Nah, it's not. I don't think it is. Like I said, my money's on the electrons.
What's the question?
Why is it called hydroxide?
I don't think it's written for a person like me to understand.
I think I found the answer. This says that the reason it's called hydroxide is because it is written as OH2, because it is mainly the oxygen atom which is bonded directly with the iron central metal atom, not the hydrogens, meaning it can be written as OH. If you had an ion bonded to hydroxide ions, OH negative, is generally the normal way of writing it on... Hold on, let me see. They just showed me two of the same shit and said it was a difference between these two words.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me see. Who I know that's in that was in took chemistry. Nephew was in chemistry. I wonder if she'll know. I don't think she'd be studying no more.
I definitely think Nephew would know.
But I don't think she studies it anymore. I don't think she would.
She went to school for 4 years for it.
But it's like asking. Nobody goes to school remembers what they went to school for. It's not.
How long ago did she graduate?
Over 10 years, probably close to 10 years.
That's different.
I'm gonna ask her. Because I know she don't. I know she's gonna be like, I remember that shit. I'm asking her right now. She just probably cut off work too. Who else was in chemistry? I'm trying to think of somebody I know that's in chemistry.
It's funny because I definitely took chemistry, but I don't remember why. They just told me.
Bruh. Who else was in? Who do I know that was in? I feel like I know somebody that was like in chemistry hard.
And things oxidizes. I think that oxygen just, it's so common that they decided whenever oxygen is something, they'll call it an oxide.
Wow. So it could be either or. That's what I'm reading from this person. Oh, wow. I think we're looking at it in reverse. The last sentence says, conversely, bases are the substances that readily combine with the hydroxide. So that means that it would bond with something that's negative. No, wait. Acids are substances that have hydrogen ions and are lower on pH, whereas bases provide hydroxide ions and raise pH. So bases have that atom attached to them. Because I feel like so something that's too charged is bad? A hydrogen ion is supposed to be bad because it's, too charged? Because it says positive. It's positively charged. But the one that's supposed to be better for you is alkaline, which is negatively charged. An acid is a substance that donates hydrogen ions. Because of this, when an acid is dissolved in water, the balance between hydrogen ions and hydroxide ions is shifted. Now there are more hydrogen ions than hydroxide ions in the solution. This kind of solution is acidic. Okay, so the alkaline food is supposed to absorb the acidic food?
The way I see it is, since it's an OH negative, it'll, since alkaline is OH negative, right? That means that it lost an electron.
Okay.
So if you have, the more hydrogen plus ions that you have in your body, the more acidic your body is.
The more what? The more what?
Hydrogen plus ions.
Yes.
So if you eat more electric food, you're going to have more neutral ions in your body, just hydrogen. Wait. I don't know.
What are you going to say?
Because it's weird. Because I don't know if the H, because if you have H plus and then H minus, and you add them together, you're going to be, either you're going to be left with H, either you're just going to be left with O, because I don't know if it negates itself, or you're going to be left with OH.
I'm just because.
Because you have an H plus.
Okay.
Plus means plus one.
Plus, which is extra.
Yes.
Okay.
And you have an H minus one.
Which means what?
Is one less. So if you have one extra and one less, meeting together, it's just going to be neutral.
But what is one less than what?
One less electron than neutral.
Oh.
But I don't know what OH is in the body. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if O. I don't know if H minus is sticking to the I don't know if hydrogen. I don't know if negative hydrogen is sticking to oxygen because it doesn't have the electron. So I don't know if that's why it's sticking to oxygen.
You lost me. Say it again. You don't know.
Because oxygen has 8. Oxygen's atomic number is 8.
Okay.
And that means that if it's neutral, it should have 8 hydrogens and 8. It should have 8 positive electrons and 8 negative electrons, I think.
What is this?
Something like that. This is just it should have 8 protons and 8 electrons.
What should?
This is 8.
No, what should?
Oh, oxygen.
Okay.
Because oxygen's atomic number is 8.
Okay.
So if it's neutral, it should have all its protons and all its electrons.
Okay.
So if you have an H negative, hydrogen negative, that means that it is missing an electron. An electron? Maybe it has an extra electron?
Wait, can you scroll down?
Because what makes it positive or negative? Is it if it has an extra proton or extra electron?
This says proton, what I was reading, but.
That's what makes it positive, and it has an extra proton? Because proton and electrons are 2 different things.
Mm-hmm.
So something being negative, does that mean it has an extra electron?
I think so. Hold on, I had just read that. Yeah, what I read is not on this page, so it's not here. So I'm not sure, because I just read that same thing. I was like, I thought that the electrons. So so okay.
Because an electron is a negative charge.
And a proton is a positive charge.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if an atom is negative because it has too many electrons. Oh my god.
What happened?
So I just went on chemistry for kids, right?
Okay.
Damn, people listening to this that understand this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So ion characteristics.
Yes,
right?
here we go. Here we go.
So
Wait, hold on. Let me scratch my head.
Answer
Oh,
the
my
thing,
head.
but then you click on it, you got to find it. Okay. So the atomic number of an element is also called their proton numbers, right?
Okay.
So this number tells you the number of protons or positive particles in an atom. A normal atom has a neutral charge with equal numbers of positive and negative particles.
Wait, what is that? What is that? Say
This is
that.
the atom.
No, say that last sentence again.
A normal atom has a neutral charge
Okay, got you.
with an equal number of positive and negative particles.
Okay.
So if oxygen is the atom, oxygen's atomic number is 8. It has 8 protons. That's what makes the number 8.
8 protons or 4 protons and 4 electrons?
No, it's 8.
I thought it had to match.
No, it matches 8 and 8, not 4 and 4.
So that's 8 protons and 8 electrons.
If it's neutral.
Okay, okay.
And the atomic number comes from the amount of protons it has.
Got you.
So, that means an atom with a neutral charge is one where the number of electrons is equal to the atomic number. Ions are atoms with extra electrons.
Okay.
Or missing electrons. So it has nothing to do with protons. It's strictly electrons.
So if it's either missing them or
Or it has too many of them, right?
okay. So wait. So if I'm supposed to have 8 protons, I'm supposed to have 8 electrons also, right?
To be neutral.
But if I lose an electron, I'm positive, right? Because I have 1 extra proton.
Yes.
Okay. And then if
So it's opposite. So a negative. So when you have a negative charge, it's because you have too many electrons.
yeah.
So when you have a positive charge, that means you don't have enough.
No, I think you said I don't know if that was right.
Yes, it is.
Wait,
when
what?
you are missing an electron or 2, you have a positive charge.
Right, I get that.
When you have an extra electron or 2, you have a negative.
Yes.
charge.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, right? So what that means is when you see H plus, let's double check. H plus means that it's missing an electron.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it has an extra one.
Okay. I mean, it's missing. It needs to get,
an electron
and the other one is negative,
because it has.
an extra electron. That makes it negative. It has too many.
Yes.
Okay. See?
So it's backwards. It's flipped.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed fucked up to me, and I wasn't sure.
Because my whole thing is that I know that hydrogen is supposed to be bad because it's taking from other ones, but I'm like, why is it taking if it's positive? And that's the problem. It doesn't have enough electrons to be stable, and stable would be, so having 8 protons but only 7 electrons makes you a positive because the amount of protons outnumber the amount of electrons in it. So overall it's positive.
Okay.
But that means you need something, you're missing something. So that's the problem with hydrogen ions, because it's going to go around your body and rob the hydrogen electron that it needs in order to be stable.
And that is a
But
free
it's not
radical.
from your body.
Is that a free radical?
Yeah, that's what a free radical is.
Okay. So see.
Oh my god.
Listen, we got
Oh
this.
my goodness.
So now we can read. Now we start from the top again. How we got
No.
figure?
Donovan, why did you not start off with something that would teach us this? You should have brushed up on this before the podcast.
Makes for better content. Okay, so start from the top. An ion is an atom or a group of atoms with an electric charge,
2 hours and 13 minutes in.
either positive or negative. We only got we should be done in 20 minutes.
We'll see.
And we actually less because the other time was taken out and cuts in between this.
Gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what an ion is. An ion is an atom or a group of atoms with an electric charge, either positive or negative, which means they're supposed to be neutral. They should be neutral, but they are not because they have a positive or negative charge. Now, to get to a positive or negative charge, you have to either have an extra hydrogen, extra electron, or not enough electrons, right? Because to be positive, that's what it is. Either have too many electrons or not enough electrons. That's what makes you positive or negative. And they're trying to be neutral. So if I have too many electrons, I'm trying to get rid of it because I need to be back to normal.
That's not true.
Why not?
Oh,
It is true. If you have too many electrons and you're trying to get rid of it, you're like, damn, I want to get back to being 5 and 5, but I have 6 electrons and 5 protons. I got to get rid of homie because I don't need him. He's slacking us. He's holding us back.
That's negative.
Right. He bringing down the energy of the group. Right. He's a negative energy. You got to let him go. All right. And then the other side of it is you got 5. Everybody in your group you got, what was it? Mad positives. Right.
Yeah, you would have 5 positives
And 4 negatives. And you like, nah, y'all too happy all the time. Like, we need to make this more realistic. Bring in that negative homie from over there. Bring him in and he can make us be a lot more normal, because this whole happy-go-lucky thing, it ain't really how people operate. And that's how that works, right? Boom, that's that. Now, we go back to the acids. So the more hydrogen ions that are present, the lower the pH, because it's more electrons. Yes. Right. Which makes it acidic. But the fewer hydrogen ions that are there, it makes it alkaline. So I'm gonna give you guys, close your eyes and imagine this. You got 5 and 5. We got a basketball team. If y'all play sports.
I think we already understand that. I don't think we have to delve into that.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. I feel like you understand. I don't know if they understand
Understand what?
what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Okay. So you got a basketball team, right? You got 5 players on one side, 5 players on the other side, right? Now, see, messed me up. I forgot where I was going. We're gonna skip over it because now I forgot what I was about to say. So acids are substances that have hydrogen ions, which means they have too many electrons.
No, they don't have enough.
Oh, they don't have enough electrons, so they're positive. That's why there's a fucking plus sign over there, because they need more electrons to be. That's why the fucking positive is there. Okay.
Yeah. It means they are overall a positive thing.
Yeah, but they need to have another electron. And that's what makes them acidic, because they want to get more electrons. And then the alkaline or electric diet that we are on is supposed to be eating the food that
Gives you the extra
electrons.
that your body is looking for.
Right. So they are negatively charged so that they can give your body, like you said, okay.
It can balance out.
Right. Because what you don't want to happen is your whatever is in your body going around stealing shit from the rest of your body. You don't want the hydrogen ion going. Now, this is not how it works exactly. I'm just saying. But you do not want the hydrogen ion going into your throat and taking out the atoms you need from there. So you eat the food so that it can actually attach to the food that you eat. You on the same page? Does that make sense?
You eat the food so that attach to the food you eat.
Mm-hmm. So if my body is acidic, that means I have too many atoms that have. Don't tell me. If my body is acidic, I have too many atoms that need an electron. Mm-hmm. So if I don't eat the food to give them an electron, they'll find it in my body.
Yes.
And they'll take it from they'll take it from my organs.
They'll take it from your teeth, your organs.
Right. And they'll deteriorate. They're like, listen, I need these things to grow. Where can I find it? I can find it in your toes. I can find it in your brain. I can find it in your heart. And so I'm going to take the molecules or the atoms I need from your heart to survive as an atom. But what your job is as a human is to eat the foods to satisfy those molecules. So now you want to eat the acidic food that then gives the electron to that missing.
Alkaline food.
Right. You want to eat alkaline food that then gives the electron to the atom that needs it. So it's not stealing it from the rest of your body.
And then if you conversely, if you keep eating.
Oh, wait. What are you going to say? Okay.
Oh, I was going to say conversely, if you keep eating acidic food, you're never going to get the extra electrons that you need.
Yeah.
So you're going to eat food that's going to rob your body of whatever you're going to eat food that's going to rob your body of more electrons.
Right. Exactly. Right. So now your body, for whatever reason, let's say there's a cancer you have. Let's say there's some type of virus you have. Let's say there's some type of.
It could be acid reflux.
I was gonna say. What do you call those things? Like electromagnetic wave type of thing. Anything that messes up your molecular structure. So anything that separates an electron from your body. Right. Anything that separates an electron from your body will be bad. And what you want to do is you want to make it whole. So you want to eat food that will make it whole. You don't want to eat food that adds to the problem and you add more food that then has more negatively or has more that needs more electrons. You need to add electrons. I don't think that made sense the way I said it. But I hope y'all get what I'm saying. I'm going to try and say it in like 2 sentences. If something happens to your body where you need more electrons, you want to eat food that gives you more electrons. That is alkaline food. You do not want to eat more food that then also needs more electrons because you're not giving the electrons to the. You are not giving the electrons to the atom that needed it originally. Boom. Okay. So that is why we eat alkaline food, because when you eat the food, it takes from your body. You don't want that. You want to satisfy that. Now, there are a lot of different things like microwave and cell phones and things like that that can cause. There are a lot of things that can make your body make your electrons in your body. No, there are a lot of things in the world that can make your atoms not be neutral. Look those things up. A lot of different things. Cell phones, food, smoke, anything that's poisonous can do that to you, right? So because of that, you want to eat the food that can counterbalance that throughout your life. So that is why we eat alkaline food. I hope that we got that down. Now, the bicarbonate thing, right? This is what happens, I believe, when there's too much hydrogen ions in one space, it will combine with bicarbonate to form carbonic acid. And if there is too little hydrogen, it breaks up to become H2O and carbon dioxide, which is how people breathe. But we're going to say that for another podcast. Can you scroll down just scroll down real quick? You can scroll past all of that. Oh, and actually, no, right there. Okay. So y'all gonna hear this term when I use this. Free radicals. You'll hear this a lot in food and smoke. And Google what a smoke point is. I can tell you. When you are cooking, there are different oils have different smoke points, which is why we use specific types of oil. you want an oil to have a higher smoke point, because when the smoke starts to come out from the food, it releases free radicals. The free radicals go into your body, and like we said before, once you inhale them, they're going to be looking for other electrons from your body. So you want to be able to give them what they need with the food that you eat, because you don't want them to go into your body and rob you of the nutrients that your body already has. And nutrients for your body is made up of electrons, atoms, and things like made up of atoms. So that's what you want to do. So look at the food that you have, Google the oils that you have, and find out what the smoke point is, and make sure that you have a food oil with a very high smoke point. So that's that. Now, that is why I just wanted to give you the chemistry reason as to why we eat these foods, right? On a really, really basic level. What? You said?
So that's basic. Well, that's not basic.
Seem pretty basic to me.
That's not basic.
Took about 15 minutes to understand. All right. So now you guys will understand a little bit more on that level, and we're gonna get more into it on a broader sense, not so specific. A lot of foods that people eat today are called hybrid foods. These are foods that people have created and combined and altered and things like that to give us what we eat today for different reasons. They want the foods to grow and last longer in different types of weather, like the winter and in the hot sun. They want foods to not have seeds in them. They want foods to taste different, look different, and be bigger. So these are called hybrid foods. Now, I try to stay away from all hybrid foods. There are a lot of foods that you don't know. You have to look up. Just Google right now all hybrid foods. What are hybrid foods? And you'll find out that a lot of food that you eat are hybrid. So that was one thing we cut out. We don't want anything that doesn't grow the way it was supposed to grow. And as we did that, we actually found out that a company called, I believe it's called Monsanto's, or they're actually bought by another company now. They actually don't allow people to grow the seeds that they want to grow. You have to grow the seeds that they give you. So there's like I don't want to call it a monopoly, but there's a whole situation going on with the food that we're allowed to grow ourselves. You have to buy your seeds from them, and the seeds don't work after 2 years. Now that doesn't even make sense. So think about that. If I plant a seed for apples and it grows apples this year and next year, that means the second year the apples should still be able to produce seeds that I can put back into the ground. But when you buy the seeds from these people, the seeds are genetically made to not grow after 2 years because they're not natural seeds. So we try to stay away from all foods like that, because we saw that a lot of these a lot of these foods have a negative effect on the body. And according to Dr. Sebi, one of the reasons why we have all disease is supposed to be mucus. Now, or that is the cause of all disease. And your body produces mucus when it's trying to fight off an infection or any type of, what would you call that? Invading something. What are those things called that come to your body? Invading something? Fight off something. I don't want to call it a predator. It's not a predator.
Invaders?
No. What would your body fight off? Invading substances? They call it that.
Bacteria?
It's not that specific. It's more of a broader term. Either way, the mucus is supposed to help to keep out those type of bacteria and viruses and substances like that. That's what it's supposed to do, right? But then what happens is you're eating food all day that actually is not supposed to be inside your body. So your body is confused. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm under attack, so I'm going to produce a lot of mucus to try and fight back against whatever's attacking me. Your body does not know that you're eating pizza. It doesn't know that you're eating or drinking soda. It doesn't know that you're at McDonald's. It doesn't know that. It just knows that whatever's in me should not be here. But when you're fighting that, when your mucus builds up and your immune system decides to fight that, you eat more food. So now your body goes, okay, we got to produce more mucus. And then when it excretes mucus, because you have mucus lining all over your body. So when you produce mucus in your body, it causes problems in that part of your body. And when it happens in your, what is it called? In your lungs, they call it pneumonia, which is what is kind of happening now with this whole situation with this corona thing. People are getting pneumonia. But like I said, I think it comes from not being healthy, because your immune system has the ability to fight off these diseases. The problem is that I think people kind of get this term messed up when they say to strengthen your immune system. I don't think you can actually strengthen it. I think it's supposed to be at 0. I think you can go below 0 when you eat bad food, and then when you eat regular food, it gets back to where it's supposed to be at. But when you can weaken your immune system by eating food or even preoccupying it or overloading your immune system. I think that's a better way to put it. People eat a lot of food throughout the day, throughout their life. They go through things, doing things differently, and all the foods that they do eat is the food that they do eat is negatively affecting their immune system. So the immune system is actually fighting against that. And then you get a cold and then you get even more sick. So that's what we decide, okay, we want to eat food that we feel like is going to give our immune system the best ability to fight off any invaders that come into our body, any foreign substances that might enter our body. That's why we eat the food that we eat. And it's, like I said, there's a lot more to it as far as you saw on a chemistry level. That's just the first introduction into it. But it gives us, for us, the things that we've experienced from it is a lot of energy. People that I know that have eaten the food have said they have a lot of energy too. Just certain things. Like I have my cousin, he ate Brazil nuts. He said he felt great. I had another friend who ate some food. They all say they feel like they have so much energy after they eat it. They just feel like, oh my God, I feel good. Because I don't believe that when you eat food, you're supposed to automatically fall asleep. I think that the food you eat is supposed to give you energy to do stuff. You don't want to eat the food and not be able to move. When I first switched over to eating this food, it was weird because I'm so used to feeling heavy. I'm feeling like, oh my God, I can't move. I'm sluggish. After I ate the food, I was full. I was no longer hungry, but I didn't feel what you would think full feels like. Full feels like being, what we learned is called being bloated. That's what we think full is. But you were never satisfied. Your stomach was just inflamed and with whatever you put in there, because that's literally what being bloated is. As far as I'm gonna check that real quick for me, what bloated is. Because as far as I know, bloated is when your body is, it's inflammation in your stomach from the food that you're eating. Because like I said earlier, your body is trying to fight off whatever you're eating. Inflammation is one of the things that it uses to fight off infections and things like that. But if your body thinks the food you eat is killing you, your body's gonna try and attack the food that you're eating, but you don't know that, so you're gonna keep eating the same food, and you end up with, headaches and stomach pains, and your stomach feels like a rock, and people don't shit for 3 or 4 days. Honestly, now it's another thing too. Since we're eating this, I might go take a shit twice a day, even more than that. Melissa's period lasts about, how long did it last? Like 4 days, 3 days. Period lasts 3 days. The cramps in the first day, I don't even think they're that bad. I don't have them, so I can't say. But I definitely remember when she first was eating, before she was eating the food, her cramps would be really, really bad. And I feel like now they're just kind of uncomfortable. I don't think they're like as painful as they were before.
Yeah, I used to have to take pills.
Oh, right. So she used to be taking a lot of pills to deal with the pain. Now she just kind of takes a nap and just like, all right, I'll wake up in a couple hours or 2 hours or whatever, and I'll be fine. And like I said, you a girl, you have a period, you want it to last 7-8 days, or you want to have it last 3 days. Change the diet.
And less pain.
Right, less pain. The skin thing, for me, I realize whenever I eat the other food, because once you understand these things on that level, you understand why your body acts the way it does. So, like a pimple for me, if I eat a food that I'm not supposed to eat, then I might have like a small pimple, and I won't even be eating a lot of bad food. It might be like I have Chick-fil-A one day, or not much with Chick-fil-A, but more so something else I used to eat. Might have been like what was that place called? Not Blue Ribbon Chicken. It was another chicken place. Sticky Fingers. When I would eat Sticky Fingers, I would get like a pimple or two, and it would happen almost like the next day, or when I get home, it would just happen, and that is a result or reaction of my body eating the food it's not supposed to be eating. And that's usually how I know something's going wrong. I don't get pimples now. If I do get a pimple, I can tell it's either probably from dirt, or my pores are clogged because maybe I washed my face. Not wash my face. I didn't wash my face. So that's something I have to deal with now. Let's say I have a lot of energy. Those are some things that we experience from the food that we eat. I was saying something else too. Oh, weight loss, bruh. You want to lose weight? Eat this food. Like, I want to go to the gym because I want to see how my body will look when I put on a lot of muscle with this same diet, because I pretty much have no fat on my body anymore. Like, when I was actually transitioning into eating this food, I was playing basketball, and around that time, I still had more weight on me, and people would be like, damn, Donovan, what the fuck? Like, you look mad lean, like Jesus Christ. And it was just me. I didn't do anything different. I just changed the way I ate. and you could see my back muscles, you could see my arm, my shoulders, everything was just lean. And I would play basketball, you could see everything popping out. So I want to see how it looks when I actually start lifting weights again, because I want to see if it's like going to be a dramatic effect on me when I lift weights. The downsides of eating electric food is that when you go outside, you can't really find much food to eat. That's one. I mean, it's harder to know what to cook unless you go to the Bamboo Project food page, or you follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. You can see that what we eat, and it's kind of an easier guide to find out what you can do. And oh yeah, it's an easier guide to find out what you want to eat, because when we first started, the hardest problem was like, okay, what can we eat? How long does it take to cook it? What do we have to buy? How do we season it? What does it taste like? That was the biggest thing in the beginning. But once you get into a flow and like accustomed to eating certain foods, it's a lot easier to do it. Melissa can make food in 30 minutes, less, 40 minutes. There's so many different types of food. There's desserts. The list is very, 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 very long. Like I said, I make waffles in the morning. It takes me less than 10 minutes to make waffles in the morning. So yeah, like I said, next week I'm gonna do another episode on this, on the electric food that we eat. But I just wanted to kind of get it started off explaining to people why we eat what we eat. And I'm thinking if I should make a more comprehensive notes for Melissa thinks I should for reading next week, because when I first wrote all these things out, I understood it while I was going through it. And so I was making almost like a map to explain, because my whole confusion was, how does eating food affect your immune system? Like, I don't understand how, if the food goes into your stomach, how does it then affect the rest of your body? But then what happens is, when you eat food, your body has to use the nutrients from the food. So it has to take the things, whatever's in your stomach, takes it out and gives it to the rest of your body. It doesn't know necessarily what to take out and what not to take out. So if let's say you eat a candy bar, right? What?
That's not true. It knows what to take out and what to not take out. It's that it's funny because we don't really know how our body works.
Mm-hmm.
So we think we should be able to eat this, we should be able to eat that, but our body knows how it works.
But then how does the stuff get into your body then?
What do you mean?
So I think that your stomach doesn't necessarily know what is bad. It knows what is bad outside. Like, if you were to eat poison, it might know not to like do something. It might know how to interact with that. But if you eat a candy bar, that's created by people. It doesn't know how to process that. So it might get into the rest of your body. No? What?
The reason why candy bars and processed foods are bad
Mm-hmm.
is because our body wants to break food down.
Mm-hmm.
So because our body wants to break food down, it's funny. Okay, so basically, the same way that when we're reading this, we see all the chemical compounds and stuff. Basically, our body likes food that has a lot of compounds in it that it could break down.
Mm-hmm.
But when food becomes overly processed, it's not enough to break down. All the molecules are basically, it's weird. There's a name for it. Like the reason why when you look at food packages and they'll say like carbon hydroxyoxide and blah blah blah, our body likes how it tastes because it's already broken down to the part that it's supposed to be. It's already broken down to what we're supposed to break it down to.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's going in our body already broken down, there's no more nutrients in it. There's nothing else that I can do with this. So that's the problem with that.
But then, okay. So why does your stomach take it?
Hmm?
So why does your body use it then?
It's already inside. It doesn't use it.
So what does it do with it?
It turns it into sugar, which turns into fat. So they store it. Because they can't break it down. They can't use it. So they just store it to the side. Because it's already... So when you eat something that has good sugars in it,
Mm-hmm.
your body will break that down into oxygen and water or whatever, the carbohydrates, I think, or whatever it is. And then it'll, in turn, use those things. But if you're already giving me something that's already broken down and I can't use it right now, I'm going to store it until I can use it later. And that's how everything turns into fat.
Okay.
Because it's already processed when it comes in. It's like there's two conveyor belts, the stuff that we need to break down, and the stuff that's already broken down. You already broken down. I'm gonna send you this way, and
Okay.
it turns into fat.
Okay. So, let me see. Um. Okay. So, what happens with toxins that you eat in your body? Like, why does okay? Because, uh, I believe that your stomach lets things into its body that's not supposed to let in. You're saying that it doesn't do that. And
Because I don't think that it's not the stomach that lets stuff in.
what does it?
It's us. We put stuff inside.
But I mean, it lets it into our body from the stomach. So, because that's the case, I could eat anything I want to eat and I wouldn't get sick from it. Because it would go to my stomach would say, I don't need this, and I would shit it out. But that doesn't happen.
It does happen. That's how you get diarrhea and food when you eat food when you get food poisoning and stuff like that.
Right, but other
You
things,
throw up.
it's okay. So, how do you get hypertension?
Hypertension, that's too much salt.
Okay.
hmm
So, why did your body let that much salt in? That's what I'm saying.
But you're the one eating it.
Right, but if your body knew it was too much salt, it would just go, oh, this is too much, I don't need this, and it would shit it out. But it doesn't do that. So I'm thinking, what I was saying was that your stomach lets in things it's not supposed to always let in. Because that's what I was saying before.
I don't think. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking about how it gets inside in the first place, which is us eating it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that the stomach allows whatever is inside to
Yeah, because I remember reading that there's supposed to be a lining that, what?
It's kind of like that.
Why do you say kind of?
Because it's like when it comes to, well, I don't know how it works with food,
Mm-hmm.
but I know when it works with like bacteria and with like its viral infections and stuff like that, your body needs time to like locate the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know how it works with, like,
I don't know what that means. Let me locate the problem.
because if you have a staph infection or something like that, or the coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, let's say it is in your stomach, in order for your body to fight it, it has to first notify, like, I guess your stomach cells will have to notify your lymphic system that there is a problem here, and then they in turn have to show up to the area where the problem is. So if whatever that problem is stronger than your lymphocytes in that area, it'll fight it off. So your body's gonna have to keep sending, I guess, an army to that area in order to fight it off, depending on how strong it is. But it needs time for the army to get there. Like, they need to be signaled and all of that stuff.
Okay, so how would you get that bacteria in your system if you eat something that's not good for you?
Mm-hmm.
How does that get into the rest of your body?
What do you mean? Like food?
Yes, anything you put in your mouth that's not good for you. I feel like it has the ability to affect other parts of your body other than just your stomach.
That's the thing. I think your stomach's job is to process whatever is in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what it decides whatever it can and can't use in the body.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll excrete whatever it can't use. But at the end of the day, if it's already inside, it's already inside.
But when I say inside your body, I'm separating between your stomach and your arm. So like your stomach is a glove. It's inside your stomach, inside of your belly, right? So if something gets outside of that, it can get to whatever is in that area. Let's say it goes to your liver, it goes to your spleen, maybe it goes to your heart. Yeah, and I'm saying what I'm saying is that your stomach has the ability to let things through it that should not be let through it. That's what I was saying before. And what else? I forgot how we got to that. Yeah, I was saying that certain foods get through your stomach and negatively affect your body, and you were saying that doesn't happen, right?
Certain foods get through your stomach and
That's what I was saying, and you were saying that doesn't happen.
I wasn't saying that.
Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying.
Not, and actually, I think the stomach is not the proper place. It's the intestines that suck out what the nutrients from it, and then it goes to your stomach, and that kind of burns it. But what were you saying?
Because you were saying that the stomach chooses to let things pass through.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't pass through.
But I think the better is this the intestines, not the stomach, because the stomach is just acid mostly. So it's like the even though I believe it does have a lining that lets things through it.
I thought it goes to the stomach first and then the intestines.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Goes to the stomach first and then the intestines.
Because your stomach is up here and your intestines are down here.
Yeah, but I was thinking that the intestines, either way, I was wrong about me saying that the stomach is what lets the food through, even though it could. I was referring to the intestines though, that they let things in and out, because that's how nutrients get to and from your body, from your intestines. What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's I'm like one of them, because the food has to get from your stomach to your body, so it has to be some type of passageway. If you just had a tunnel and just went in through the tunnel and came out when you shit, then you would never be able to. The food wouldn't help your body to grow because you can't take stuff out. So there has to be some type of like gate or whatever you want to call it that lets things in and out to go. Okay, I need that. I need this. I need that. Whenever you open that door for that thing, something can come in that it doesn't need to have in there, or it can take too much of whatever, too much salt, too much sugar, too much selenium and shit like that, and it takes it in. So, what? I feel like you want to say something.
I was thinking, yeah, I was just wondering how that works. Because like you said, if the body knows, if your intestine knows, I don't know if it has, I guess, limits on things. I think it just knows that if this is in front of me, this is what I do with this. Because the body works like that. Where it's like salt goes here. That's all it knows. It doesn't know there could be too much salt, or it doesn't think about that. It's like a function, very basic. Like salt goes here.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna write these questions down for the next podcast, because I want the next one to be easier for people to understand when we go through it. So I'm gonna try my best to make next week's Electric Food Podcast a very easy podcast to understand and tell your friends about, so that when you talk to them, they ask you questions, you have the answer to those questions. Because I don't want somebody to try and explain what I said, which will probably happen, and then not understand, not be able to explain it properly. So it said,
We can talk about the gut microbiome.
right, which I'm saying, it's a lot of stuff that it's deep, and this could be probably more than 1 or 2 episodes, but
It could be a whole series.
yeah, this is something I definitely want to talk more about. And you can find us on Instagram,
Yes, I was just thinking that too.
DONIVANGRAY. That's my Instagram. You can find Melissa's Instagram, Anita Burn, ANETABURN. And you can find the food page, the Bamboo Project _food, where we are going to be putting up screenshots of the food that we eat. Also, we'll be putting up cards with information about the food that we eat and why we choose to eat these foods. And it'll be a little learning lesson if you want to know certain things. Like, oh, what's the gut microbiome? You want to know, oh, what is selenium? How does that help my body? And when you go to the store, you can look and find, oh, I didn't know this was in there. Oh, that's bad. Like, why should I eat canola oil? Why is that terrible for me? We're going to tell you. We're going to explain it. And the more that we talk about, the easier it'll be for us to explain it. So then one day you'll come on here and be like, that was so simple. I understand what they were saying. What? Oh, so, and I also was thinking about this too. I want to start doing, I want to find a way to do like an anonymous question, because I feel like people would want to ask questions, but they don't feel that we are big enough that they would want to ask those questions. So I would want to do like an anonymous thing where I can just, I don't know how to do it though. I don't know where I would put it. They have like an Ask FM thing. I might do that. That used to be anonymous. So I made like an Ask FM page. I'm gonna definitely do that. Ask FM page that people can go and then ask random questions to us, and I can see what they want to say. So that's exciting. And I think that's it. Oh, and we got some more subscribers on YouTube. So listen, we're growing on YouTube. We're doing things. We're still working on trying to get this schedule down. I'm trying to get back to work. I feel like I feel something's changing. Something positive is happening, but I don't know what it is yet. So, but we're gonna try and get that schedule down packed. And that is a wrap for episode 20, the Bamboo Project Podcast out.